I bet she came.
All right. And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 37 of the MTVM Podcast. Today is a special day because it is the last episode of this podcast ever. We have made it through 37 episodes. And near the end of the video, before I end the broadcast, I will say thank you to everyone and, do a little bit of not a speech, but, talk about this whole process and how I feel and what to expect in the future. But we want to start things off positive first, go over our topics. We do have a lot of topics today. It is our last episode after all.
So it's either go hard or go home.
Exactly. Go hard, go home, bitches.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are definitely going to be delivering a really great episode today. And it's going to be a little different for me, too, because I have my own personal list that I've done for some of the sections.
Same here.
So, yeah. But with that being said, would you guys like to do your introductions as usual?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Film fan 0599 here again, and we're here for the final episode of the MTVM Podcast. We have made it to 37 episodes without killing each other. We've done it, folks. Yay! Oh man, it's bittersweet. We did it. We've made it to 37 episodes without murdering each other. So yeah, but no, seriously, this is well, I'll talk about more once we get to the end. But for right now, let's keep it positive. Let's just go all out. Let's knock this shit out of the park. This is the last episode. We should go all out for this shit. Let's do it. So let's have a great one.
Absolutely. All right, and Andrew,
it's your boy,
Skinny Penis.
No, Andrew Hayes.
Okay.
Bringing in that big dick energy for episode 37.
Yeah.
Of the MTVN Podcast. My only regret is that we didn't end on like a cool number like 40 or 69. But I guess 37 will have to do.
37 will now be a lucky number to me.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, let's get started with movie topics as per usual. So I have several of movie topics today. So
I got so many movie topics.
I have two trailers to discuss today. So one of them was released last week, and I talked about this last episode that there would be a new trailer for this movie. And I watched the trailer, and I want to discuss about it because I'm very excited for this movie. And that is Suspiria. Now, Suspiria is a new horror film coming out. It's a remake of a 1975 film. It's the same name. And, stars Dakota Johnson, stars Tilda Swinton, and stars Chloe Grace Moretz, who we haven't seen in forever. So she's in it, and in the trailer, she's very unrecognizable. So I just want to say that right off the bat. But what the movie is about, for those of you who don't know, so the original movie was about an American student who travels to Europe to go to this academy for ballerina or something.
Yes.
All I want to say without spoiling a lot of it, because it is a movie that if you go see it without knowing a lot, it's going to be better for you. The place is not what it seems at all. Like there's some crazy things going on. And the main character starts to realize this, and you start to see what this place really is, what it's a cover for. And this new film pretty much has the same plot, but I will say this. I'm very excited for this new film, for Suspiria. Now, it is actually my most anticipated horror film for the rest of the year. I know a lot of people are very excited for The Nun. A lot of people are very excited for Halloween. And I don't want to diss those two movies.
And none of these are actually my most anticipated. Mine's Aposto, the Netflix one that's coming out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my most anticipated.
Yeah, all right. I understand that. That looks promising, too.
Yeah.
But for me, it's Suspiria because I want to say this because I like the original a lot. It's not one of my favorite horror films of all time or anything, but I thought it was quite good. I actually saw it for the first time a couple of months ago. But this new one doesn't look like a rehash of the first one at all. It actually looks very different. I believe the director, Luca Guadagnino, if that's how you say it.
Guadagnino.
Guadagnino, okay. So he directed Call Me By Your Name from last year, which I liked. I didn't love it. I don't think it's one of the best of the year. But I am still very excited for this new one. Apparently, it's going to be very gory. I have a prediction that this is a movie that's going to get an F on Cinema Score, and a lot of people are going to hate it, but there's going to be a couple of other people who are just going to appreciate it because apparently this movie is going to be controversial. It's going to be gory. It's going to be really bloody. It's not going to hold back. It's 2.5 hours long, which is an hour longer than the original, I believe. And it looks like a very different movie. It's like its own thing, which makes me more excited than to see a rehash of the original, which is also a good movie. So yes, I am very much looking forward to Suspiria. It is personally my most anticipated horror film of the rest of the year. Dakota Johnson, who I've only seen the first two 50 Shades of Grey movies, and I hated them, but I'm glad to see that it looks like she's doing some good movies because she's coming out with this and Bad Times at the El Royale. Two movies I'm very much looking forward to.
This could be a comeback here, folks.
Pretty much.
Still did a 50 Shades of Grey movie this year.
Who the fuck cares? Let's ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so do you guys have any thoughts on the new trailer, if you have seen it or not?
I didn't want to watch this trailer because I feel like the teaser was enough for me. I feel like that was enough for me to really get excited. Also, I want to kind of go into this blind as well for a little bit because I haven't seen the original as well, so I want to definitely try and watch that before I see this.
Yes.
So, and plus, I've seen a lot of pictures and a lot of stills from this, and those are also enough. Like, there's one where, like, Dakota Johnson's, like, throat is, like, open, like, wide open and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm like, oh, God. Like, I can already tell this movie is just going to say fuck it and just go all out with it. I can't wait to see that because I personally like movies that are like that. Like, just ones, if it's done right. Like, you know, like, a good example for me is, like, Cure for Wellness. That's a movie that just doesn't give a fuck. Like, there's a lot of graphic shit in that movie, and I like that movie a lot. I have a great appreciation for that movie. I know some people were kind of mixed on it, but, you know, I do like it if it's done right, movies that just say fuck it and just go with it. And this definitely does seem like that, and I hope it's really good. Despite me not liking the director's last film, I'm hoping this is really good, though.
Yeah, and to be fair, too, despite anyone's thoughts on Call Me By Your Name, it's just a complete...
This is like a completely fucking 180 from that.
It's not like we can expect part 2 of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a complete 180 from that.
Yeah, pretty much. And speaking of shots and stuff, like, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but someone, or an account had posted a bunch of shots from the recent trailer, and the shots are amazing. I actually quoted the tweet, and I was like, dude, these shots are perfect. Like, yeah. Like, one perfect shot, the account on Twitter, would have, like...
a fucking field day with this shit.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this movie. I think it looks very promising. Kevin Falk actually says, Suspiria looks incredible. Very eerie vibe that honestly rivals Hereditary. The original is one of the most creative horror films I've ever seen, but this honestly may top it. Yeah, I actually said that on Twitter. I think this has a very good chance of topping the original. So
I don't doubt it, to be honest.
Yeah, and Sammy says he can't wait for Suspiria. He's only see the original. Yes, I do recommend the original if you have not seen it. It's a good movie. Yeah, so I'm, like I said, very excited for it. Do you have any thoughts on Suspiria, Andrew?
Yeah, no. I mean, I loved both the trailers. It's something that I'm very intrigued in, and what I think a good trailer is something that gives you just a little taste of what's to come with this movie, but doesn't give too much away. And I think that's exactly what both trailers did. Mm-hmm. It gave you just a little bit of a taste and didn't give too much away.
Right. Yes. So with that being said, bring it on. Can't wait to see it. All right. So that concludes that trailer discussion. Now, my last trailer discussion for tonight or for ever is the new trailer for First Man that was released actually today.
Oh, really? There was the First Man trailer released.
Yes, for a second trailer.
Shows how much I know.
Yeah. Well, it was just released today, and it premiered last night at the Venice Festival. So I guess that's why it premiered today. But anyway, First Man is the film about Neil Armstrong, walking on the moon. I guess the events leading up to that. We get a glimpse at his life. And the mission, this is a film I'm very excited for. It's written and directed. It's directed by Damien Chazelle, not written by him. The guy behind La La Land, Whiplash, and he also co-wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane. So the guy's very talented. And I am super excited for this movie. I actually love this trailer. Now, I don't know if it's better than the first trailer. I honestly think both trailers are incredible. But I will say this, the second trailer just still makes me super hyped to see First Man and to see what Damien Chazelle does with this movie. I thought the music in the second trailer was actually really great. It was a lot of piano playing, and it just fit really well with the scenes. And you can just tell that the movie's going to look really great in IMAX, especially the scenes where they go fly off, to the moon, to space, and it's going to be like really intense. I am very excited, and plus, it has Ryan Gosling, and plus hearing the reaction from the Venice Festival actually makes me very excited. Yeah. A lot of people praise. Oh well, I don't want to say a lot of people. Maybe like 3 or 4 people that I've seen have praised it very highly, and I've also seen a lot of praise in particular to Claire Foy's performance.
I'm telling you, people don't sleep on her right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she was in that show, The Crown, which I have not seen, but my mom has seen it, and she says that show is great. But she was in the movie Unsane, and she is captivating in that. She's great in that movie. So, I don't doubt that she did a great performance, or that the movie is going to be, really good. I'm very excited for it. Main reason why, though, not going to lie, I mean, yes, I'm very interested to see Neil Armstrong's story on the big screen, but it's really because of Damien Chazelle and how much I loved his past movies. I've always wanted to see what he does next, so yeah, really excited to see this movie. And second trailer was great. Doesn't give away a lot either, so yeah. You guys have any thoughts on First Man?
I unfortunately have not seen the trailer yet. Been a little bit busy getting ready for this, so I forgot that this trailer was out. But I'm extremely excited for First Man. If you guys saw my good buddy's 22 Tiger Dudes top 5 most anticipated video, which I am also on, this is my second most anticipated behind Bohemian Rhapsody. So I'm very excited for this.
We literally have the same top 2.
Right? But I am really excited for this. I always have been fascinated of the moon landing of Neil Armstrong. I've always been fascinated about that whole ordeal. And the fact that it's going to be brought to a big screen with Ryan Gosling playing playing Neil Armstrong, Damien Chazelle's going to work on the movie. It just looks so promising, and I cannot wait for it. And a lot of people, I even heard one person say this makes Apollo 13 look like a puppet show. So this is very interesting.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is very interesting to say the least. So I can't wait to see what Damien Chazelle has offered for this. Maybe it could just be a great trilogy of hits for him. So hopefully this is good.
I agree. Andrew, you have any thoughts?
I did not see the trailer, but this is a movie that I am very excited for. Like I just mentioned, it's my second most anticipated movie of the fall season, right behind Bohemian Rhapsody. And, there's a lot of movies this year that just look really good. So that's saying, I think that's saying a lot, because there's just a lot that I am really excited for. So for it to be not only in my top 10, but my top 2 is saying a lot of how excited I am for this. I haven't seen it, like I said, but it's just something that I maybe I'll see, maybe I won't, because I don't really feel the need to see it because I'm already that excited for it.
All right, so that concludes my trailer discussions for today. What I want to talk about is next is some news regarding the Top Gun sequel. Top Gun sequel was scheduled to release next June 2019, but they actually pushed it back to June 2020. So we won't be expecting it till 2 years.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And there are some casting news as well. The past couple of days, there have been a lot of people just being added, to the casting. I'll name some people. I mean, obviously Tom Cruise is coming back, Val Kilmer, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, Glenn Powell, John Hamm, and Ed Harris. So we have a pretty talented cast for this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's not really clear who they're going to play or what significance the characters are going to be in the sequel. The first one I have seen when I was like 10 years old. I don't remember it at all. I remember it being a fun movie. I don't remember anything else, so I definitely have to rewatch it.
It's definitely a guilty pleasure.
It's like a fun movie. It's nothing. It's nothing spectacular, but it's
a really dumb movie, and it gets kind of annoying, when they play Highway to the Danger Zone like for the billionth time in that movie. But
Yeah.
But it's definitely very much one of my bigger guilty pleasures.
Okay. All right. Well, I definitely want to see it again just to just so I can say that I remember it and know what the hell's going on. But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to the sequel, I guess. I mean, I do like Tom Cruise a lot. I've especially just everything he's done, all the movies he's been in. And yeah, I'm excited to see, especially with this cast. It's a really talented cast. So maybe we'll get a really good movie. You guys have any thoughts on this?
I haven't seen Top Gun in a while, but I very much enjoyed the film. It's very, like I said, it's nothing special or anything, but it's a very fun movie. And I'm interested to see what they could do with the sequel. Tom Cruise is the man, so, hopefully it's good.
All right. And do you have any thoughts on that, Andrew?
I never really cared for a Top Gun sequel, but I mean, like I just mentioned, I do enjoy the first one. It is a pretty big guilty pleasure. I do, at least I think so, because objectively, it's not really that good of a movie. But I love the fuck out of the movie, to be 100% honest with you. But I mean, we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, the cast is really talented, so hopefully they use the cast well.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I hope they make it obviously make it fun, but also make it a good movie too. Because
yes,
I've heard quite mixed things of the first one. That's why I brought it up, because I feel like a lot of people have different reactions to the first one. So, all right. So Kevin says, not a huge fan of Top Gun, to be honest. Kind of boring and generic, a little too cheesy for my case. This one looks like it could be better though. All right.
Okay.
So we'll just have to see. Again, I have to rewatch the first one. All right. So that concludes that topic. My next topic is something a little unfortunate, honestly. And I believe Double Nine, we kind of have the same topic, so you can join me for this. Because a couple of days ago, it was announced that Alec Baldwin will be in the new Joker movie, which I was looking forward to talking about it because that is exciting. But it was announced today, like a couple hours ago, that Alec Baldwin left the project. He won't be doing the role anymore. It wasn't said why. I mean, he said it was scheduling reasons, which, I mean, it's not unbelievable because that happens a lot. Like, a lot of actors are approached with a project and there's just a lot of scheduling conflicts, so it just never happens. So it is a little bit of a bummer, too, because I was interested to see what he could have done. But there are a lot of actors out there that could probably play the role really well. And as far as this Joker movie, initially I was against it. I was like, I really don't think it's necessary. But I got to tell you, I am definitely intrigued to see this. In terms of all the DC movies coming out, this is by far the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh, yeah, same.
Because, Joaquin Phoenix is the main actor. And Joaquin Phoenix, man, he's phenomenal, dude. I love him as an actor. And plus, it might be interesting, So I am very much looking forward to it. And we'll see who will replace Alec Baldwin as a choice. I do like Alec Baldwin. I think he's talented as well. But I do think that they are capable of finding someone who can also play the role really well. So it is kind of a bummer, but I am still willing to be optimistic and to be open to whoever they could choose to play Thomas Wayne in the new Joker movie. So do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, my original topic was going to be about Alec Baldwin being in the Joker film, but now that's not happening anymore. Literally 2 days after it being announced, he drops out. So I was excited about it. I was interested to see because Alec Baldwin is a great actor. I do enjoy him a lot in a lot of the films that I have seen him in. And I was very excited to see what he could bring to the role of Thomas Wayne, but now he's out of it. So I don't know who they would get now, but hopefully whoever they get now is really good.
Yes. All right. Andrew, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I was very interested how it was going to play out. And I was excited to talk about it on here. And he literally just dropped out. I mean, shit happens. I mean.
Yeah.
it's not like the worst thing in the world, and it's not like some stupid reason too. So at least there's that.
Yeah. All right, so I only have 2 more topics left.
Really?
Oh shit!
Now, one of them is regarding. It's not really much of a topic, but I do want to talk about it. So next week, for those of you who don't know, from September 6th to September 16th, it's the Toronto International Film Festival. So TIFF will be taking place next week. And it's funny because I've never been to this festival, like, ever. But I'm always excited. It's like I feel like I get really excited for this festival, even though I'm not in it, because a lot of movies I'm really excited for, a lot of them are shown in this festival, and we get early reviews and early reactions of those movies. So I remember 2012, like, movies like Looper was in TIFF, and Chris Tucker reviewed it like 2 months before the movie came out. And, you know, that's usually how it works. A lot of movies that are at the fall movie season, they're in the Toronto International Film Festival. And, you know, we get early word on it. And usually, a lot of the movies get a lot of positive reactions, which makes us more excited for the movies to come out. And the reason why, I always say this, that early reaction I take with a grain of salt, but I feel like that's more towards, you know, fan screenings rather than critic screenings, because, if I'm going to be honest, I trust more critics' words and casual words, honestly. So usually it's critics and I guess film enthusiasts that go to these festivals. So I do want to talk about some movies that will be on Toronto International Film Festival. Now, I don't have the exact schedule of what movie, what day, you know, the film's going to be playing on, but I want to talk about some of the movies that's going to be on there. So Predator is going to be on there. Now, it's a little weird because it comes out next week, so it's not like we'll be getting first word of Predator from Toronto International Film Festival. That's literally coming out next Friday. So I'll talk about Beautiful Boy will be on there.
Yay.
Boy Erased, Halloween, Widows, First Man, A Star is Born. Actually, a film Tony talked about in his video, Double Nine. One of you guys mentioned it, called Climax. I don't even know what that movie is, but that'll be in.
Oh, Kaden mentioned that. That's who Kaden.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll be on the Toronto International Film Festival. Same with If Beale Street Could Talk, which I finally saw the trailer, by the way. Roma will be on there as well. Mid-90s. The Sister Brothers, a movie I know Kevin's very much looking forward to. Green Book, White Boy Rick, and a bunch of other movies are going to be playing there. So, which is expected because, oh yeah, and Hugh Jackman, for those of you who don't know, is coming out with a movie this year called The Front Runner, so that'll be on there as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And another movie for me to look forward to.
Yes. So, I am very excited because a lot of the movies I mentioned I'm really excited for, and they're going to be in a Toronto International Film Festival, which means we'll be getting early reviews for these movies from at least critics that will be on there. So I don't know, it might be a little weird, but I'm like anticipating hearing what these people think of these movies. A lot of these movies I'm really looking forward to. So if this podcast would be going on longer, this is something we'd definitely be talking about, like results and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's a big thing. But, you know, I did want to talk about it, though, because it is coming out next week. I mean, it's going to premiere next week. And it's going to be for 10 days. So, yeah. You guys have any thoughts on that at all?
I'm very interested. I can't wait to see what the, like you said, the results, what the reviews are going to be for all these movies, because a lot of these I am looking forward to. So I am very, very curious to see what has in store for this. I'm very, very intrigued to hear the results.
Absolutely. And Andrew?
You know, I'm also very excited to see these results. I mean, you mentioned a lot of movies that I'm really looking forward to. Boy Erased, Beautiful Boy or two that I feel like I'm more excited for that than most people, but they look incredible. So I'm really excited and to see how those, A Star is Born is another one. And I don't know, now that you mentioned this Hugh Jackman movie, not that I would, you know, don't know why I would be excited for a Hugh Jackman movie, but, you know, I want to see how that turns out because, you know, maybe, who knows, maybe Hugh Jackman will get some Oscar consideration.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, I heard some people on Twitter say that this might be, because it is one of those looks like an Oscar movie. So I don't know what the movie's about. I just know it's political. You know, so he plays a political figure, but I haven't really looked much into it. So yeah, but it's Hugh Jackman, so very much looking forward.
Yeah, I always give anything with Hugh Jackman a chance. I'm always pretty excited for it. It's either worked fantastic for me with Logan or hasn't worked so fantastic with me with Chappie.
Yes,
you're like me with you with Hugh Jackman is like me with Liam Neeson.
All right, and I have one more topic now. Just give me like a few seconds here because this is something that I am pulling up because I am doing a list on this podcast.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I am doing my last movie topic ever. I'm doing a list of my top 5 least anticipated films of the fall movie season.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Yes, I am doing that. The reason why I'm doing this is because I don't feel like I want to do a live stream of just doing a top 5 worst. I'm going to be doing a top 5 best this upcoming Sunday, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video about details and all that kind of stuff. So on this podcast, what I wanted to do, I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll just talk about my top 5 movies that I'm least looking forward to this fall movie season because this season looks very promising, for sure. I've said this many times on the podcast and just many times in general, but I got to be honest. There are some movies I'm very much not looking forward to, and I want to talk about the top 5 movies that are the least anticipated for me. Now, just a warning, and not a warning, but just want to let you guys something know, and I am being completely serious when I say this. If you're looking forward to any of these movies, that is completely fine. Like, literally, you're excited for this? Honestly, more power to you. I'm happy that you're looking forward to something that I'm not. And, hey, if any of these movies turn out good, I will happily admit that they're good, and that's it. I won't be biased about it. But just judging by trailers, these movies do not look good. But let's talk about my top 5 least anticipated of the rest of the year. All right. So we're going to kick it off with number 5. Number 5 is a movie I forgot was coming out because the trailer was released several months ago. But it's coming out in November, I believe. And it's next to IMDb. I was looking at the IMDb schedule for the rest of the year. It's coming out, and that is Robin Hood. Okay, here's the thing about Robin Hood. Robin Hood is a really cool story. Now, Ridley Scott came out with the movie in 2010. Now, I like Ridley Scott. I love Russell Crowe, but, man, that movie was boring. That was very disappointing for me. So they're coming out with a new film of Robin Hood. Now, it stars Taron Egerton from Kingsman, who I really like. It stars Jamie Foxx, another actor I really like. And it stars Ben Mendelsohn, who I also enjoy. Now, I know a lot of the characters he plays. Yeah, the characters themselves aren't great, but I think he does a really good job acting in those roles. So we have a pretty good cast, but, man, this trailer did not grab me at all. I think the slow motion in this does not look very good. I'm not a fan of this whole slow motion thing. Just too much slow motion going on in these kind of movies. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, slow motion can work, but I feel like a lot of the times when it comes to movies like this, especially with King Arthur, it just doesn't work. And it really looks like the King Arthur this year. Now, for those of you who don't know, I hated King Arthur. I thought that was awful. It was so boring, and it was terrible. No, that movie did not work for me. And unfortunately, this movie looks like it's the same path. You know, a talented cast, but, butchered by bad editing, a story that we've seen many times before. And, yeah, like I said, if you're looking forward to this, awesome.
Yeah, I'm one of them, actually.
You are looking forward to it.
If it turns out good, then you know what? I'll be more than glad to say that it's good. But for now, I'm not sold on the trailers.
But then again, I was also looking forward to King Arthur. I thought that was not too good. So who knows? Maybe that's not be another situation like that.
I'm gonna be honest with something. I didn't think I would meet a single person that was excited for this movie. But little did I know, that person was right under my nose the entire time.
Hi.
All right, so we got a couple of comments. So C.A. Cougar says, Robin Hood looks so meh. Kevin Falk says, oh, God, that looks so bad. Taron Egerton just continues to make awful decisions as an actor. It's a shame, too, because I like him. He's, great in Kingsman. Sammy says, not too thrilled for a new Robin Hood film. And Danny Russman says, looks like this year's King Arthur Legend of the Sword, which was atrocious. Honestly, it does look like King Arthur. But hopefully he's better than King Arthur. That's all I hope for.
It wouldn't take much to be better than King Arthur. To be 100% honest.
Bad. And I remember some people saying, "Oh, it was just mediocre." I'm sorry, I thought it was awful.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was just okay. I didn't really hate it. I just had a meh feeling while watching it.
Yo,
it was so boring to me. It was really
bro, it was boring. Charlie Hunnam was not fucking good. Fucking, he was more wooden than a fucking oak tree, bro.
I thought he was the best thing about the movie.
Wait, who? What actor?
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was not a fan of his acting either. All right. So that is my number 5, Robin Hood. Number 4. Yeah, this is a movie I am no. The Hate You Give.
Oh, my lord.
Luckily, I don't know much about this movie, so I'm good.
Okay, I talked about this briefly last week. The Hate You Give. Now, here's what I will say. It is, honestly, and I'm being serious too, it is admirable and honestly fascinating that they're doing a movie about the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, it's the trailer. It's based off a book, actually, a best-selling book, apparently. That's really good. But we're talking about the movie, not the book. The movie is about a black kid, a young black boy who gets shot, an unarmed black kid who gets shot by the police. He gets killed very unfairly, as the trailer makes it seem. And this girl, what she does is she starts doing a Black Lives Matter uprising. Now, I think the story, you know, that could work. You know, because this is something going on in our times. It's very a huge conversation we've been having for a while.
Can I guess what the problem is with this?
Sure, go ahead.
It seems way too fucking preachy.
It does. No, it does. And not only that, it looks like a Lifetime movie. It really does. And if you like Lifetime, that's fine. But it looks so overly dramatic and so preachy. Now, here's the thing. There's a movie that came out this year that's very well talked about called Black Klansman. Now, Black Klansman, that is not very subtle. You know, Spike Lee voices his opinion very strong in that movie. But you know what? It works. You know, it's not like he's beating you over the head, but his voice is very loud and clear. And, you know, you can get what he's going for. With this movie, oh my God, it's like they're literally taking you by the head and smashing you over the face with this message, like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And it just, no, it doesn't look good.
I hate movies that are like that. See, that was my biggest problem last year with the movie fucking Okja. It bashed me over the goddamn head with its fact. It's like, oh, eating animals is bad. I hated that. Like, I was like, please shut the fuck up. Like, I was like that at that point. So if it seemed like that, then yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this movie all that much.
Yeah. Okay, Kevin. Yeah, I honestly don't think it is, since we already have 2 films, Monsters of Men and Blindspotting. Yeah, Blindspotting is a film that delves into that topic. I have not seen Blindspotting, but I've heard great things about it. And from that trailer, it looked like it didn't do what this movie is doing. This movie just looks way too preachy, and that's the problem I have with it. I don't know if you guys want to ever check out the trailer. Maybe you might disagree with me, because it seems like the like button is a lot more bigger than a dislike button. So it looks like people are looking forward to it. To me, it looks too preachy and too much of a Lifetime movie, and that is why I'm not looking forward to it. And that is my number 4, at least anticipated film of the rest of the year, The Hate You Give.
And then here's where Diego and I, okay.
Yeah.
We literally have the same top 3.
Yes, we do.
Well, we'll see if I agree with both of you guys.
Yes.
I know
Number
we
3.
have the same number 1. I know that for a fact.
All right. Number 3, Mortal Engines.
Oh, my fuck.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. I know there are people looking forward to this movie, and again, that's fine. Really, it's cool that you are. And if it looks good to you, please go ahead, enjoy the movie, and just be excited for it all you want. Me, however, now the first teaser trailer I thought was mediocre. I'm like, okay, it might work. It was that second trailer.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, the teaser trailer had me somewhat intrigued. Like, I was like, okay, this could be cool. Then that poor fucking trailer came out.
No, that second trailer was so bad. And listen, Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh have involved in arguably the best trilogy of all time, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, okay? So listen, I'm a huge fan of their work. And they're not directing the movie or anything, but I know they are involved with it. This movie looks bad. It looks so generic. Does not look interesting. And to be frank, I'm so tired of these young adult adaptations of these movies that are like similar to like dystopian Hunger Games type of movies. Like, I'm just tired of them. They're so like, let's just stop making these movies. Like, I know earlier they came out with a movie, The Darkest Minds, and that did so bad at the box office. I think within 2 weeks it was gone from theaters. 2 weeks.
Yeah, because it bombed.
Yeah, and
Because it looked like garbage, and it probably was. I don't know. Maybe I love it. I haven't seen it, but
in any
looks like
case,
trash.
but even then, like there's been a lot of movies that's been these type, and they all feel like the same shit, honestly. And this movie looks like it's continuing that. And if the story does not look that good, the visuals are awful in the trailer, at least in my opinion. They do not look good.
And it looks like just a big ripoff of like Mad Max or some shit.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I know there are people who are, and look, it's awesome that you are. To me, no. This does not look very good at all. Come down December, end of the year, I'll be seeing other movies that are on my most anticipated instead. I'm not looking forward to this at all. So
yeah, me too. No.
Is my number 3. All right, number 2, Venom.
Okay. Can I just say something real quick before you talk? Now, out of any of us, I was the most optimistic about this shit.
Yes, you were. You were.
Then ever since that trailer came out, and then more news came out about this movie, it just seems like it's just going to be another disaster. Like, it will be like this year's, like, Fantastic Four or some shit. Like, it really does. Like,
I have a terrible, terrible feeling that it's going to be just as bad, if not worse, than Fantastic Four.
Like, like, honestly, even this could be the worst out of, like, the Sony, like, Marvel movies. Like, depending on what we're hearing about this shit, like, oh my god, like.
No, it really seems like it, because even the director has said himself he doesn't know if it's going to be rated R or not. So,
like, if the director has no fucking clue.
Yeah. Dude, I've been saying this. It's because of Sony, really, of a company that I was not looking forward to this movie. And plus, it was a Venom movie starring Tom Hardy. That alone should make it on my top 5 most anticipated of the year. But Sony, man, and look what's going on with all these production issues going on. And that third trailer, oh my god.
The dialogue in that fucking trailer, Jesus Christ.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how bad it was. And I love how people were like, oh, well, he says that in the comics. I'm like, okay, but you know what? The line is still terrible. So, you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
I am not looking forward to this at all. It looks so generic. It looks like it's going to be a disaster. And it's unfortunately going to be one of those movies. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. All right. But it looks like it's going to be one of those movies where the studio is going to interfere with the filmmaking itself. And it's going to be like, yep, we just want this movie and that movie. And we just want 10 million Venom movies. My brother actually told me he thinks this movie's going to bomb at the box office, which he might have a point. Because I don't know. I feel like more people should be talking about this movie in terms of being excited for it, but I know more people who are not looking forward to it than people who are looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I gotta agree with Kaden in the comments. Yeah, they're in terms of like the mainstream like movies. Yeah, Sony's easily the worst out of them all, and this proves it, to be honest. With like all these, with everybody.
Sony is easily the worst, and it's because of the way they do with their movies.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let me see what some of the comments say. We have some comments. Kevin says Venom looks really bad, but it's surprisingly not in my top 5. All right, that's fine. It's my number 2 because I just think it looks atrocious. It was really that third trailer that really got to me, because the second trailer, it was not good, but you know what? I'm like, all right, it looks whatever. It was that last trailer that they gave that looked awful, so bad. I was like, wow, I could not believe it. And that was supposed to be the trailer that was supposed to give people optimism, and it just made all of our hopes and dreams like, yeah, that's all it did. It looks really, really bad. All right, number 1. We all have to say number 1, so you guys are absolutely more than welcome to join me on this.
Let me turn on my camera for this one, even though I'm done with what I was doing.
Number 1, least anticipated film.
Can we say it all at the same time?
Sure.
3, The Grinch.
1, The Grinch.
The Grinch.
Just ruin it. Double.
Okay, I thought we were also. I didn't know we were doing a countdown. I apologize.
It doesn't matter. Okay, I would like to go first on this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
This movie looks unbearable. That's the best way I can describe how it looks. It looks atrocious. Oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you how learned about this thing. Okay, so I discovered that Illumination was doing a Grinch movie. Initially, I was not excited because I'm not a fan of Illumination. I know there are Illumination fans out there. I'm just not one of them. But I saw that the first teaser trailer dropped online. So I went on YouTube, checked it out, and I thought, oh my God, that teaser trailer is terrible. And it was funny, too, because I told Andrew that same day, dude, I saw the trailer for the Grinch. That looks bad. And then 2 days later, we went to go see Solo together. And prior to Solo, the Grinch, that same teaser trailer for the Grinch played before Solo. And as it was playing, it was just as bad as it was in the big screen. And I looked at Andrew. I'm like, yo, how bad does that look? No lie. He was speechless. He was like, I can't. I cannot
fuck this, man.
This is all 100% fact.
And less than a month later, Jurassic World came out, the new one. So I went to the theater, and the second trailer played. And after I saw the second trailer, I'm like, I owe that first teaser trailer a fucking apology because this looks way worse than that first teaser trailer. Oh my God. I cannot talk about how unbearable this movie looks. It looks annoying. And look, I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but I don't know what he's doing with his voice. All right, because that voice is not. No.
I'm convinced it's not better than Cumberbatch. I'm convinced that he just signed a fucking contract saying, I don't want to do my voice, but you got to pay me to use my name.
The jokes were so terrible and didn't like. Listen, when I went to go see Jurassic World, the theater was packed. And I mean packed. Like most of 98% of the seats were filled. And when I say no one laughed during that trailer, not one person laughed. Like if someone in the front row, and I mean the very front row where like your neck is like this, seeing the big ass screen, if that person had dropped the pin, you would have heard it. That's how quiet it is. No, I cannot believe how bad this movie looks. My jaw dropped after I saw the second trailer, and like the worst way possible because the amount of awfulness that was in that trailer, I couldn't put it into words. It was so bad. If this movie turns out to be mediocre or even somewhat decent, it'll be my most surprising movie of the year. Yeah. I am so serious. This movie looks awful, and you know what? Fuck Illumination. Seriously, no.
I got something to say about Illumination.
Go ahead.
Right. Go ahead.
They are without a fucking doubt in my fucking mind the worst animation studio I have ever fucking seen. There's only one movie that I actually like by them. There's one movie that is decent by them. The rest aren't good. The first Despicable Me is really good. The second Despicable Me is all right. The third one, not good. But Minions is fucking trash. Secret Life of Pets, fucking trash. Like, man.
And Sing was okay. I mean,
I didn't sing. Wasn't Hop Illumination movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I actually did not see that.
Garbage. I'm pretty sure The Lorax was a fucking Illumination movie too.
I think it was.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good either. Yeah.
And oh fucking boy, can I not wait for Secret Life of Pets 2 and Minions 2 because those are going to be so fucking amazing, let me tell you.
This looks like they're continuing their streak of awfulness.
Yeah, I continuing their streak of pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like Illumination's goal in life is to not make good quality movies. It's to fucking piss me off with every single thing. They're like, you know what? How can we piss off Andrew Hayes with this movie?
Fuck Andrew Hayes. That's pretty much their slogan.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I want to say something because Kevin just said something. Yeah, I don't know what movie I saw. I saw a movie, and what they did was between each trailer, they would have the Grinch like present each trailer, and it was so bad. It was like the Grinch and his stupid-ass dog would like be miserable and like, oh, coming soon in the theaters. And Kevin said he saw it when he saw Ocean's 8. I forgot what movie I saw. I'm like, why?
Oh, we saw it together. I remember sitting next to you for it happening, and you go, Jesus fucking Christ, just shoot me the fuck now.
What movie was it? I don't remember what it was.
Oh shit. I'll have to think.
It wasn't Solo because we saw the new trailer.
It was after Solo. I remember it happening. after.
Nah, dude, I don't remember, but I know exactly what Kevin is talking about too. I saw that as well.
Was it? It might have been Deadpool 2.
Oh, maybe. But then that'd be before Solo, so probably. Yeah, so they were doing it in May when the movie comes out in November. And it wasn't even funny either. Oh my god. I have no hope for this movie. Like, at all.
I have no hope either.
See, hold on. I mean, before the trailer dropped, not that I was excited, but I was like, all right, Benedict Cumberbatch is doing something. He seems like the idealistic choice to voice the Grinch. Then the trailer dropped. Fucking awful. And I love you, Benedict. You know, you're my boy. You know, we're always gonna be home dogs. But come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, Double Nine. Do you have anything you want to say about the Grinch?
This looks bad. Sorry, Kane. Your biopic looks like a piece of fucking shit. Now,
it really does.
But yeah, this is bad.
You know,
Dude,
you know that
bad. The animation, we haven't even mentioned this. The animation looks atrocious.
I
This
mean,
looks
the animation
terrible.
for any Illumination movie doesn't look good.
But I think pretty much you guys said what I needed to say about this. This just looks bad.
Now, I have a question for you because I actually have not seen the Ron Howard and Jim Carrey version. But do you guys think that the animation movie looks worse than that?
I mean,
Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I like the Jim Carrey version.
I don't hate it.
I like that movie, okay? But no, this just looks 1,000 times like, ugh.
Oh, bad.
That C.A. Cougar says if this movie is anywhere near as bad as their Ron Howard movie with Jim Carrey, I'm in for pure hell. Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things about the Ron Howard movie.
I didn't hate it. I mean, I think it's more of a guilty pleasure to me for anything.
I like it, okay?
You're also talking to the person that fucking worships the fucking live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
Yes, my man! I have found someone that worships that movie.
I
fucking love those movies. I don't care what anybody says. I will always fucking love those movies. Cinematic achievement.
They're keynote cinema.
Listen, nobody. See, these movies are too smart for people.
Yeah.
And, you know, since I'm the fucking smartest person fucking ever, I'm the only person that could possibly get Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
All right, so that is my least anticipated film of the rest of the year, The Grinch. This movie looks bad. And you know what, can I just say one thing? Because I want to know how you guys feel about this. I really, really don't think the excuse of, oh, it's just a kid's film is a good excuse at all.
No.
A lot of people say that towards animated movies. Oh, well, it's such a kid's movie. You know, kids are going to like it. I'm like, that's a terrible argument.
Exactly.
Kids
deserve better entertainment than this shit.
Yeah.
I got shit for fucking saying how fucking bad Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul was because it was just made for kids. Bro, I don't care if it was made for fucking 2-year-olds. The movie was fucking garbage. I'm pretty sure there's not one fucking kid that I would know that would like that movie.
Yeah, or like Norman of the North or any of that.
Yeah.
All right, so that is all my movie topics for today. So
it's your boy
9. Go ahead and take it away.
Double 9, your man, the myth, the legend. Not legend. He's actually fucking terrible. Now here we go. My movie topics. I have a total of 4 movie topics. Well, I had 5 previously. Well, I had 5 previously, but we already talked about one of them. So now I have 4. All right. So Matt Smith is apparently going to be joining Star Wars Episode 9, a pretty-key role. This interesting to say the least. I have not seen Matt Smith in a ton of things, but I have enjoyed him from the episodes I've seen of Doctor Who. I have enjoyed him. He is a good actor, and he's very charismatic as well. So I am interested to see how he will do in a Star Wars film. He said they did say that his role is pretty key in the movie, so I am interested to see what he has. Is he Is he like going to be like, what is it? Like, it's very mysterious. Kind of like Kerry Russell's role in the movie. It's mysterious. We really don't know much about it. Like, so I am interested to see where his character will go, with the description that he is a main key character in the film. So I am interested. What about you guys?
So, in terms of me, I'm not familiar with this actor. I mean, I know he's played Doctor Who. I've not seen one single episode of Doctor Who. I know I've heard great things about it. A lot of people claim it to be one of the best shows ever. I am just never got around to seeing it. In terms of episode 9, I think I had mentioned this before in a couple of episodes ago that I'm just not too excited for this movie. I'm not exactly sure why. But if he's good and if the character he plays serves purpose, I'm all for it, of course. I'm always in for a compelling character that would serve the story. So we'll have to see. I really wish I could have more of an opinion because I haven't really seen him in anything else. So,
what about you, Andrew?
I mean, I hear nothing but great things. I haven't really seen him in much, so I don't know how I would feel about him as an actor. But, I mean, I hear nothing but great things about him. So, I hope he does really good.
All right. So I guess that's it for that. Next movie topic. I'm pretty sure this is not a shocker to anybody, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 production has been put on indefinite hold for this movie.
Well, that's Disney's fault. So.
Yeah. Well, this comes as a shock to nobody. The production as of right now has been a total mess for this movie. Ever since the firing of James Gunn and the whole fucking cast pretty much threatening to fucking leave the movie pretty much. Yeah, it was no surprise that the production has been put on hold for this movie. I'm not surprised by this at all. Disney made a big mistake in doing this in terms of like firing and shit, and now this is just turned into a complete mess. And a lot of people are saying they're just going to cancel Guardians 3, which I don't think they're going to do. They're not going to cancel a money-making franchise like this. But the production has been put on hold. I'm not really surprised by this. So, yeah, this movie has turned to has gone from just, we're going to get a third one to just being a total train wreck real quick. How about you guys?
You can go first, Andrew.
This doesn't surprise me. They have a lot to fucking figure out. So, again, it doesn't surprise me that they're delaying it because why rush it, especially when they don't have a director and with all that's been going on. I hope they figure it out soon. And I just hope, honestly, for a good movie. That's all I hope for.
Yeah, this is Disney's fault. So, if they feel bad, they fucking shouldn't because it's on them.
It's 100% fucking Disney's fault.
Yeah, so they can go fuck themselves. That's what I gotta say about it. That's what I gotta say about that.
You got any thoughts, Diego?
He just said his thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Yeah. Well, on to my next movie topic. So, apparently Wonder Woman 1984 will be scored by Hans Zimmer himself.
I am excited about that. That's because of that, not so much for the movie, but for Hans Zimmer coming back. Yes.
So a couple years back, Hans Zimmer said he was retiring from scoring superhero movies. Well, I guess that's no more. He's coming back to score Wonder Woman 1984. Hans Zimmer is the man. He's like one of my favorite composers of all time. So I am interested to see what he's got in store for this. I know he will deliver something fantastic. I mean, he's done it multiple times, especially for superhero films. My favorite scores of his are usually the superhero ones, to be honest, because he just knows how to make them quite epic. And hopefully this is another one of those, to be honest. I hope this is just a grand and epic scores that we get from him for this film. So I am very excited for that. Yeah,
same. Hans Zimmer is a phenomenal composer. We actually, I remember a couple episodes back, we did a top 10 Hans Zimmer songs, and actually the list is very long because we all had different songs and showcase how great Hans Zimmer is. So obviously his score has nothing to do with the quality of a movie. So as a standalone, just by Hans Zimmer's score makes me very excited because I'm always interested to hear what he does for a movie. No matter what the movie is, I just has Hans Zimmer's name in it. I just want to see what it is. So, and that is very much the case for this new Wonder Woman movie. I like the first one. I think the first one's overpraised a little bit. I'm not too excited for the second one, but I'm excited to hear Hans Zimmer's score for it, for sure. So that's what I got to say about that.
Andrew Hayes.
I agree 100% with what you guys say. Hans Zimmer is my personal favorite composer, and I enjoyed a lot what he did. Despite how excited I am for the movie, I'm just excited to hear Hans Zimmer score because I know that he's going to give us nothing but the best.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, and then movie topic?
We're on my final movie topic for all the times, for all time. My all-time last movie topic. I had to go big with this last one. I'm going to. So, I'm doing my top 20 favorite movies.
Oh!
I'm not going to say of all time. I don't want to say of all time because this could change. Because there's still movies that I have to see. And there's still new movies that are coming out that could easily be in this list.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to say these are my all-time favorite movies. But as of right now, as of August 29th, 2018, these are my favorite movies right now.
You mean 2018?
2018. What? Fuck it. We're going back into the future. We're going back to the past now.
At 8:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. Now, so here we go. So are you guys ready? I'm very. Now here we go. Like I said, these are my favorite movies. These are not the best movies of all time. These are just my personal favorites. Okay. Here we go. So coming in, starting off at number 20, I have The Place Beyond the Pines.
Oh.
That is a masterpiece, honestly. That's one of the best of the 2010s, honestly.
Honestly, it's criminally underrated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I saw this movie for the first time last year. I was blown away completely. Wow. Like, this is an absolute... This movie, this is not, like, anything that has, like, big action sequences or anything. No, this just is really about characters, really. Like, this is a great, just character movie and very story driven, and this has some of the best structuring act wise I've ever seen. Like, I love how we follow different stories each act, you know what I mean, and it's really excellently done.
Yeah, and I think all three acts are great. I don't know why people say Act 3 sucked. I'm like, no. All three of the acts are fantastic and very, very intriguing in my opinion. And everyone gives a phenomenal performance. Honestly, like, for the I want to say probably everyone's best performance in this film, and in terms of the main stars, have their best performance in this movie. I think this is Ryan Gosling's best performance in my opinion. This is easily Eva Mendes' best performance. This is, in my opinion, probably Bradley Cooper's best performance. Like, everyone brings their A game to this. Dane DeHaan. Like, the acting is truly phenomenal. It's probably, like, along with the story and the structuring of the acts, my favorite element of the film. Like, it's just fantastic. And there's never a time where I'm bored with this movie. Like, I am fully invested 100% in this film. It is just such an excellently done movie, in my opinion. Definitely one of my favorites of the entire decade, to be honest, and one of my favorite movies. So there you go. Hey.
All right, so number 19 is Seven.
Love that movie. Love
Seven
that.
That has to be up there for me.
7 is probably my favorite thriller of all time.
And I will never argue against that.
This is probably, like, I haven't seen a thriller that is just so intense and so, like, on the edge of my seat like 7. I am fully invested in the mystery of what is happening during this movie, and where it leads into is haunting, to be honest. Like, you know, I know people have seen the movie, but there's still people that haven't seen the film, and plus, this is a movie I definitely want people to just go into it if you don't really know that much about. So, when you find out about a certain character and find out certain twists, yeah, it just leaves you just in awe and just leaves you thinking afterwards. Like, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are great. Like, they're some of like my favorite like cop duos ever. Like, I love the two of them together in this movie. Like, and they give some of the best performances of their career in this movie. Like, they're both fantastic. And I think this is David Fincher's best movie, hands down, to be honest. This is his magnum opus. Like, I know some people love Fight Club. I know some people love The Social Network, but for me, it's Seven, baby. Seven is his magnum opus, and I love
one of the darkest movies I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, like this is not a movie you put on randomly one night on a Saturday afternoon. No, like this is sick, twisted, and it is just. Yeah, certainly not a movie you want to watch with on your first date. That's definitely not something you want to do.
It's definitely one of the best written movies I've ever seen.
Oh, the screenplay to this is absolutely phenomenal in my eyes. And of course, what's in the box? That scene. What's
in the box?
So yeah, 7 is my number 19. My number 18 is The Big Lebowski. This is what'd you say?
I still have not seen that.
You need to see this shit. Okay, this is probably my favorite R-rated comedy of all time. This movie, this is like a character study disguised as a comedy. Like the way that this movie, the plot of this movie is about a guy who gets pissed because they frame him as the wrong guy and they piss on Scarface. That's literally the plot of this movie, and and the way it takes the where it leads into is fantastic and hilarious. Like, this has some of my favorite characters of all time. Jeff Bridges as the dude. He's fantastic. John Goodman as Walter.
Should have won the Oscar.
Amazing. Like, the screenplay to this is absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best writing I've ever seen for a movie. Like, and this movie is genuinely funny and so quotable as well. Like, this is a movie I could just rewatch at any time. It's one of those movies. It's like rewatchability is definitely a factor for me as well with my favorite movies, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. This is definitely a movie that I could rewatch just endlessly. It is such a funny, fantastic film. I absolutely love this movie to death, and it's easily one of my all-time favorites. And it's definitely my favorite R-rated comedy of all time, and just one of my favorite comedies in general. All right, number 17 is Gladiator.
Love that choice. Ridley Scott's best, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, easily. Just this is definitely his best movie. Russell Crowe gives top tier one of the best lead actor performances of all time in this film. Like, easily deserved the Oscar for this film. He was incredible. Same goes with Joaquin Phoenix. I loved him in the film. Ridley Scott's directing is some of the best I've ever seen, especially when it comes to those gladiator fights. Like, the way that those are directed and handled are absolutely amazing. And just the way that we follow the character of, Russell Crowe's character and everything is absolutely incredible. And I really love this movie a lot. It is definitely a movie that took my breath away the first time I watched it. And it's still a movie that I come back to, honestly. And, yeah, it's really phenomenal. If you've never seen it before, you definitely should, because it is quite the movie. And it's definitely probably my favorite. Maybe this is probably my favorite movie that has to deal with these times and whatever, because it really is, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. So if you've never seen it, you definitely should, because in my opinion, it's easily Ridley Scott's best film. All right, number 16 is Saving Private Ryan.
Hell yeah.
This is the greatest war film ever made. It's honestly just that opening scene, man. One of the best opening scenes of all time. Just is brutal, is graphic. I remember I saw the runtime at first. I was very nervous because I was like, am I going to be invested in this the entire time? And I was. There was never a time I was bored in this movie, and I just was so fascinated with the characters, with the war action sequences, especially in the final act as well. It is brutal, this movie. And Steven Spielberg said this was what's weird is that, okay, I'll mention it when I get into it, but he did say that this was probably like one of the most difficult movies he ever had to make in terms of like shooting and making and stuff. And you can definitely tell because the way that sets are built and stuff like that, and the suspense and what is happening in the movie is quite amazing, and seems like it's very difficult to film. So I condemn him 100%. He did win Best Director for this, I believe. I think he did.
It's really one of those movies that when people say are overrated, I get fucking mad.
Because it is not at all. Like, this movie is really deserving of every accolade it deserves and should have won Best Picture. So, yeah, my number 16 is Saving Private Ryan.
Awesome.
All right, my number 15 is Shrek, the original.
Okay. Yeah,
I love this movie. Okay, this is one of those movies you could just. I rewatched this movie about, I think, like 2 months ago, I think, and it still holds up. Like, it's just one of those movies that I just smile from ear to ear while watching. It's just one of those movies you can rewatch endlessly. It's so great. Like, the animation is fantastic. The voice acting is definitely some of the best I've ever seen. Like, Mike Myers owns that role as Shrek. Like. And so is Eddie Murphy as Donkey and Cameron Diaz as Fiona. Like, it's great. Like, it's really fantastic. And same goes with, like, and the way that it just turns its head on fairy tales is amazing, honestly. Like, the role, like, how they reverse the things and stuff like that. Also sends a great message as well. Like, no matter how much you look, like, you can find love. That's why I like that message about the movie. And I feel like a lot of people really overlook that about the movie, too. So, yeah, I know some people prefer the second one, which I can understand, but that first one to me, man, will always stick with me, and I do think it is the best DreamWorks animation film. Honestly, I really do think it's still their best movie to this day, and it's still a movie that I still find hilarious and just charming, no matter how many times I've rewatched it. So yeah, my number 15 is Shrek. Number 14 is The Lion King.
Hell yeah.
The greatest Disney animated, if we're talking just straight up Disney animated movies, this is to me the best. Like,
thank you, I agree.
Like, I know it's the cliche thing to say it's the best, but come on, like,
I'm just happy you said that was the best, not Frozen.
Yeah, true. But if I had to choose, okay, if there's one Disney animated film that honestly goes head to head with The Lion King for me, it's Tarzan.
Okay, yeah, I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that in years.
But The Lion King, like, what can you say about this movie that hasn't been said about a billion times already? The animation is absolutely incredible. The soundtrack is great. The musical numbers are fantastic. The voice acting is truly amazing. Like, what else can you say that hasn't been said about this movie already? Like, it is Disney's magnum opus. Like, the movies that they made in the 90s, for the most part, are the best movies they've ever done. Like, to be honest, like the one, like, from Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, you know, like, just from the Aladdin, like, just, and The Lion King, like, and The Lion King is the best, in my opinion, out of all of those, and it's just truly a timeless movie, and is one that still resonates with people to this day, and yeah, it still does with me, honestly, and I absolutely love it to death. It is easily one of my favorite movies of all time, just one I could rewatch endlessly. All right, number 13, MC Deadpool's going to twist his nipples over this one. Spider-Man 2.
Nice choice.
One of my favorite comic book movies of all time. One that I watched just countless times as a kid, and still one that I still appreciate to this day. This is still, like, one of the best comic book movies ever, honestly. Like, it is just, it's not just a great comic book movie, but just a great movie, honestly. It really is. Like, the way that they handle with the character of Peter Parker is absolutely incredible. Still, the best I've ever seen the character brought to screen, honestly, is in this movie. Like, just where we take him in the direction of him conflicting, like, you know, he starts to lose his powers and stuff like that, and he's, like, conflicting, like, do I want to keep on doing this? Like, do I want to keep on being Spider-Man? And then he realizes, like, this is me. This is who I am. Like, I need to be the hero that this city needs. And I love that. Like, it's absolutely great. And it's a great conflicting character. Like, it's a great conflicting character arc for him, honestly. And the way it's done is fantastic. The train sequence, I don't care if Tobey Maguire gets his shit face during that. That's still one of the best action sequences of all time. Like,
I don't know why people give so much shit for that. Like, how else would your face look like if you're stopping?
if you're trying to hold a fucking train together, like, for fuck's sake, people. And I love that scene. And when they and when unfortunately his identity is revealed to everybody, everybody's like, "We'll keep your identity a secret. You saved us all." Like, it's such. This movie's so perfect, man. Like, I love it. I could talk about it endlessly, but I got 12 other movies to talk about, so I gotta get to those. So
still the best Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, like, it really is, and it's still one of the greatest, like, top 3 greatest comic book movies of all time. All right, number 12. I know I'm going on a long time, but I want to talk about this. We got to talk. These are my favorite movies. I got to go in depth with this shit.
If the podcast never ends, like, if we never stop the broadcast, then the podcast never ends.
Now, all right, so now, but no, number 12 is the Terminator, the original.
Yeah, great.
I know some people prefer Terminator 2, and I completely understand why. But for me, the first Terminator has always been where it's at for me. I really love just that this is a sci-fi chase, almost horror-like in some ways, film. Like, it's about a man trying to, well, not a man, but a machine trying to take down someone, because if they assassinate John Connor's mother, Sarah Connor, then John Connor's never born. Then the resistance will never happen. And basically, like, John Connor's like, that's not fucking happening. So he sends Kyle Reese back in time to stop the Terminator. It's an awesome chase movie. Like, this movie is intense as fuck. Like, you were just wondering, like, okay, where's the Terminator going to show up at this point? Or, like, where's it going to lead into next? And it leads into something quite amazing, in my opinion. This still is, in my opinion, still James Cameron's best movie. Like, I honestly still think it's his best film. Like I said, I understand people who prefer the second one, but for me, the Terminator is always going to be the best one for me. I absolutely love the movie, and it's just a great sci-fi movie, and definitely one of the best. All right, number 11 is The Shape of Water. Now, I know what some people are going to think. Like, it just came out last year. Like, why is it already this high on your list? I have seen this movie so many damn times in the span of its release, okay? And I thought about it so much. I love this movie so much. This is like my third favorite film of the decade, to be honest. Like, this is easily the best romance movie I have ever seen. Like, it is so beautiful and so poetic that it honestly makes me cry. It really does. Like, it really does. That ending makes me bawl like a bitch. Like, funny story. I watched this movie with friend of mine. Her name is Haley. We watched it together, and when the ending was coming up, I was like, "Ah, shit! I'm probably gonna start crying. Don't start crying in front of her." And then I was like, "Ah, fuck! I'm starting to cry." Like, it gets me every time. It's a beautiful, beautiful ending, and just the whole movie is beautiful. There's so many moments in this film that just make me just swell up and just put a smile on my face because it's so damn beautiful. And Sally Hawkins gives one of the greatest performances of all time. This might be honestly, if I'm really going to think about it, this might be my favorite lead actress performance of all time. Like, I love her performance in this movie that much. Like, she does not say a damn word in this film, and her emotions speak louder than words in this film, and it truly shows. And it's absolutely incredible. I love this movie so much. It is easily the best movie to win Best Picture this entire decade, and that moment where it won Best Picture will live in infamy with me forever. And I was glad I was able to witness something like that in my lifetime. So, yeah, The Shape of Water, easily. Honestly, I could see this movie going into my top 10 in later years, but for right now, almost barely missing it is where it stays. So, yeah, The Shape of Water, fantastic film. All right, top 10, folks. We're here in the top 10. Oh, man, we're here in the top 10, my top 10 favorite movies. So here we go. All right, number 10 is The Crow.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought
that would be higher, honestly. I thought that was going to be higher on your list.
Well, you'll see what the other 9 are, then maybe you'll understand. But The Crow is, wow. Like, this is, to me, the most underappreciated movie ever. I feel like not enough people give this movie the appreciation it deserves. Like, It really is. Like, it is a simple. I will admit, it's a simple revenge movie. But however, the way that they execute it is absolutely great. What drives this movie is its lead star performance from Brandon Lee, which is still, besides a certain other performance that we'll talk about a little bit later, is probably my favorite comic book movie performance. Besides another one, I'll talk about that one in a little bit. But this one is absolutely incredible. He gives it his all in this movie. Is backed up by a great action scenes. Like that scene where he's in Top Dollar's warehouse just taking out all those guys is still some of my favorite action sequence ever. I love that scene. A soundtrack that really builds the atmosphere of this world. The directing, speaking of the atmosphere, really directing, Alex Proyas, really, I still don't know what the fuck happened to this guy. Like, because the way that he directs this movie is absolutely phenomenal. And I really love how he directs this film. He builds this atmosphere, this world of just, it's chaos, it's brutal, and I love it. And it's just dark. And I love how this movie just takes place at night for the most part. Like, there's only a few scenes where it takes place in the light. And I love that. It just adds even more to the eeriness and the absolute just darkness of this film. So yeah, The Crow, what an amazing movie. Still, in my opinion, the most underappreciated film ever made. All right, number 9 is Mad Max Fury Road. This is probably like, this is easily like my favorite action film of the entire decade. When that first opening scene happens, like I was like, this is going to be something special, isn't it? And from then on, this is just an intense adrenaline rush. This is the pure definition of an adrenaline rush, is this movie right here. Like, this movie never stops. It just keeps going and going and going. Even the breaks that this movie has, it's still going. Like, shit is still happening. And it's great. Like, I love that. Like, the scene where Max is just like, where, the people are coming after him and he needs to go out and he's like, all right, I need to go take care of that business. And he fucking wrecks shit. And the girl's like, are you okay? And he's like, and Furiosa's like, that's not his blood. Like, it's great. Like, just scenes like that, it's amazing. Like, the action set pieces, easily, hands down, the best car chase sequences I have ever seen in my entire life are in this film. Like, I love the chase sequences in this movie. They are absolutely phenomenal. And if we never get another Mad Max movie, I'm glad it ended on a high note like this. Like, this was the perfect way to go out with this series if we do never get that sequel. So, if this was the way for it to go out, then so be it. It was absolutely phenomenal. As they would say, it was, a glorious way, a witness, it was amazing. So, yeah. All right, number 8 is Jaws.
A great choice, yeah.
This is my favorite horror film of all time. I know some people really don't consider it a horror film, but I consider it.
No, it's a horror film.
It has every element of a horror film you could possibly have. So it is a horror film. And, man, this movie is terrifying. The reason that I say it's probably my favorite horror film is because this is something that could truly actually happen, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it the more scarier. Like a shark terrorizing the entire city. Like, they can't go in the water. The mayor in this movie is a complete dumbass, and we see that in the movie. And, oh, man, this movie, and plus, this movie is PG, and it's violent as fuck. Like, oh, man, like, it doesn't get violent at points in this movie, and it's great. Like, it really is. Like, it is intense. And this is my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. And I mentioned earlier, there was other films that he said were the hardest movies to make. And this was another one, because the production on this, you'd be surprised at how great the movie turned out with all the production issues that this movie fucking had.
Oh yeah, no, I know about that. Yeah.
And but no, it turned out to be a masterpiece, and it was the first real summer blockbuster, and still holds up to this day, honestly, and is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, number 7, Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Really? Okay.
I love this movie. Okay. This movie is probably the most quotable film of all time to me. I could say a quote from this movie and nobody will get what I'm talking about. They'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, just this movie is hilarious, man. Like, I've rewatched this movie so many times. I still laugh hysterically to this day. Like, it is just such a hilarious movie. Like, it really is. This is easily, without question, Will Ferrell's magnum opus. Like, this is his best role. Like, he owns the character of Ron Burgundy. And just the way that they kind of just make fun of the time period that this is in and the way that stuff was handled back in the day is absolutely great. And just where stuff leads into, like, has some of the funniest scenes of all time. Like, I will not eat that cat poop. You will eat that cat poop. Like, it's like shit like that just makes me laugh. And, like, it's funny, man. I love this movie. Like, there's so many, like I said, there's so many quotable lines in this. It's just one of those movies I could just sit down and just rewatch on an endless loop and will never get tiresome. So, yeah, that's my number 7, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Number 6, The Dark Knight.
Yay, put it on your list.
Yes, yes. I'm glad these. I know these two would be happy about that. But The Dark Knight is, without question, probably the greatest comic book movie of all time. Like, it is. It's just like, what else could we say about this movie? Like I've been saying about a lot of these films. What else could you say about this film that hasn't been said a dozen times already? Like, Heath Ledger gives probably the best performance in any comic book movie ever, or just probably the greatest performance of the 21st century, to be honest. Like, his performance is absolutely phenomenal. Or the way that it just builds upon characters, the action sequences. Like, everything is amazing about this movie. And what makes a comic book movie great is, like, they take the elements of a comic book movie and just up the ante with them about 1,000%. And it's not just a great comic book movie, but it's a great detective, like, crime movie as well. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, just the realism as well with this movie is absolutely great too. So, yeah, I love The Dark Knight. It is easily my favorite comic book movie of all time, and definitely very high in my favorite films of all time. All right, top 5. We're getting near to the end, so we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. I know I've been going on for a long time, but we're getting there. All right. So my number 5 is Ghostbusters.
Okay, great.
Another favorite of mine, another one that I just grew up on endlessly, and still a movie I still watch endlessly to this day. It is such a funny comedy. Is arguably, in my opinion, the greatest comedy ever made. Arguably, honestly, like, it is so hilarious. The jokes still land to this day, in my opinion. After almost it's gonna be like 35 years next year, I think, and it's just so amazing. Like, I love the comedy with this film. The action sequences are great too. Honestly, like, I love it when they're trying to take down Slimer for the first time. Like, that scene is great, and they just destroy the whole fucking place. Like, that scene is great. Like, when they fight the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that's fantastic. Like, just a lot of things that are great about this movie, and I still love this film to this day. So, yeah, my number 5 is Ghostbusters. What are you laughing about, sir?
MC Deadpool says, yeah, 2016 one is a great one.
I see
what is this blasphemy?
I see what you did there. All right. Number 4 is going to be the most odd choice out of any of the ones in this list, but I don't care. I love this movie. Dude, Where's My Car?
I've never seen that.
Okay. I know. Okay, listen, this is my personal favorite comedy of all time. Listen, if you think this movie is awful, I understand completely why. But for me, I just have a very special connection towards this film, and I still find it funny to this day. Like, I can make an argument that maybe some of the jokes don't really hold up, especially a lot of the breast ones that they make, but I still find it funny. I still have a good time with it. I still enjoy the just goofy hilariousness. This movie is just out there. This movie is wacky as fuck. It makes no fucking sense, but I love it. Okay, I love every minute of it. It makes no goddamn sense, but I love it. Like, the finale to this movie, they just go all out with it, and it's great. I love it so much. So, yeah, Dude, Where's My Car? It's my favorite comedy. It's a ridiculous fucking film, but it's one that I love to death. So, yeah, my number 4 is Dude, Where's My Car? Number 3, The Matrix.
Yeah, it's a great.
Honestly, my favorite action film of all time. There's no other action movie, in my opinion, that is better than The Matrix. This one it just messes with your mind, man. It just makes you think, honestly. Like, it really just plays with your mind and just makes you think. Like, and I like that. Like, it's very thought-provoking, And it's got great action sequences, too. Like, the action sequences are absolutely amazing. Like, the bullet time sequence is still one of the best. Where they're shooting up the bank, that's great, too. Like, there's so many great elements with this movie. Like, its sci-fi elements are fantastic. Like, it is really amazing, in my opinion. It's in a movie that has really changed my life and one that I've watched endlessly. And I really love this movie to death. So, yeah, my number 3 is The Matrix. All right, my number 2 is The Empire Strikes Back.
I knew that was going to be on the list somewhere.
Okay, if there's one movie that could somewhat compete with my number 1 and like at any point, it's definitely this one. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Everyone knows this. And The Empire Strikes Back is easily my favorite of the bunch.
Oh, easily. For me.
This is just a phenomenal movie. It really is. Like, from the way that certain directions go with characters. This still has my favorite lightsaber fight out of any of the ones in any of the movies. The one between Luke and Darth. I just love that scene so much. This movie takes some unexpected turns, honestly, that you would not expect a movie like this to go into, and it does. I really love, this is still like my favorite portrayal of Darth Vader is in this movie. Everything about this movie is just perfect. The directing is great. The characters are fantastic. It's just overall, it's my favorite sci-fi film of all time. And it is easily my favorite in the bunch of the Star Wars movies. And my number 1 is Toy Story. Do I really need to like make a dramatic build-up for this? It's Toy Story. Like everyone knows Toy Story is my favorite film of all time. I feel like I don't have to go into much detail about this, but I'll just leave it at this. I love this movie. It's the movie I hold the most to my heart. I still love it. It is still the movie I rewatch the most. Like you even said, Diego, it's probably the most rewatchable film of all time.
Oh, it is.
It's just one you could just sit down and rewatch at any time. I love everything about this. The characters, the animation, just everything is phenomenal about this film. So I'll just leave it at that since I've said so much about Toy Story in the past beforehand. And I'm pretty sure at this point everyone already knows what I think of it. So I'll just leave it at that. Toy Story is easily my favorite film of all time. So I know that went on for a really long time, but I apologize for that. But I had to go all out for this. This was our last episode, so I figured I needed to go all out with this list. So yeah. So there you go. My top 20 favorite movies.
All right. And Andrew, your movie topics for tonight.
All right. Let me just, because we talked about some, let me just get all my shit situated. And all right. So something I wanted to talk about that I'm actually kind of surprised neither of you talked about is the Bond 25 director shortlist.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Now, I looked it up, and there's a couple interesting people on here. The first big name that obviously jumps out at me or is mentioned is Edgar Wright.
Yes.
I mean, this is, I think, the consensus on what everybody wants to direct. He's certainly one of my favorite directors, not only working today, but of all time. And, I would 100% be down. But also on this list is Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, yes.
I love the guy, but I can't see him doing Bond.
Yeah, no, as much as I love him, I can't see him doing Bond.
Yeah. I can't see him doing that, honestly.
If he got the job, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world, but yeah. The next guy is Jan Demage. He is going to be directing White Boy Rick, or is the director of White Boy Rick. I don't know much about him. He's actually the one I know I've seen the least from. So I don't know much about him, but I am very much looking forward to White Boy Rick. And, you know, if he's the right guy for the job, he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah.
The next guy on is John Mark Bali. He directed Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, I very much loved Dallas Buyers Club. I think that's a fantastic film. And I'd be interested to see because, Dallas Buyers Club and I would assume Bond would be two very completely different films. And the last one is David Mackenzie, who directed Hell or High Water.
Okay.
And to kind of, I guess, put two things into one, David Mackenzie is also possibly going to direct the Scarface remake. So David Mackenzie could possibly have two big movies on his hand, which the only thing I've seen from him is Hell or High Water. I love Hell or High Water. It's one of my favorite movies of 2016. So I would love to see him direct another movie. And if he directs Bond, I'll be fine with it. And if he directs Scarface, I'd be fine with it. The person I would probably want to direct the most is Edgar Wright. He's my favorite out of the ones, and I could just see him doing the best job with it, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, same. Edgar Wright would be my choice out of all those.
Yes. Yeah, same. Honestly, I would love to see him direct a Bond film. That'd be interesting, to say the least. Either him or Dave Mackenzie. I would like to see him direct the Bond movie.
Yeah,
honestly,
Dave Mackenzie probably my second choice, honestly.
Yeah, honestly,
that'd
Dave
be very
Mackenzie is
interesting.
my second choice.
Well, my first choice is easily Edgar Wright.
Yes.
For sure. All right, what other movie topics you got, Andrew?
All right, I got 3 more. All right, my next one is, or 4 more, my bad. It is slated that Tom Hardy has signed on for 3 Venom movies. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well that's going to work out. I guess we'll see how the first one is. But
yes.
I honestly, if the first one is as bad as I think it's going to be, I really don't see them doing more than one. To be 100% honest.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's why Sony wanted it to be PG-13, so that they can make more movies and have them eventually perhaps somehow have Tom Holland in the movies, too, to make like a universe of Venom.
Yeah, but the thing is, they did the same fucking thing with, they wanted to do with the Sinister Six and all that back in the Amazing Spider-Man series. And that didn't really work out, so we'll see how this one works out.
Right.
What do you think, Double Nine?
I don't know, because like I said, the first one doesn't really look that great, and plus they announced a Fantastic Four sequel before the first one was coming out too. And look how that turned out. So I hate it when studios do this, like just plan out sequels like beforehand when like the shit might not turn out well. You know what I mean? And it turns out to be a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just...
Yeah. All right.
Sony doesn't know what they're doing, man.
Yeah, they really don't. They have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Now, my next topic is a movie review. From a movie that came out in 2002, starring one of my favorite actors of all time, Robin Williams, and that is 1 Hour Photo.
Ah.
Now, this is a movie for a long time I've wanted to see because, like I said, Robin Williams is one of my favorite actors, and this isn't a typical Robin Williams role, so I wanted to see how I would like it, how he was. I was very interested to see it, and pretty much it's about this guy, Robin Williams plays him, Cy, who runs a photo developing lab, a 1 hour photo developing lab. That's where it gets the name from. And he, over the years, he, there's this family that is always there, and he develops this obsession with them. And it's a really a character study of Robin Williams' character. And I love the movie so much. I mean, I'm so very much invested in the character of what Robin Williams and how he thinks and what he is doing and why he's doing it. And it's honestly one of my favorite performances from him that I've ever seen. It's up there for me. And I mean, I'm just fully invested to see what he does and and how he reacts to certain things. And my only negative is the family that he follows. I don't really care too much about them. I mean, I do care, but I mean, not enough. I'm more interested in what Robin Williams is doing, and not interested in the family, but him following the family and why he's following the family is that's what I'm invested in. And when it came to I didn't really care for the characters of the family. The performances are fine, but I didn't really care for the family as a whole. I give this movie an A. I think it's a fantastic film, and I absolutely love it, and I recommend it for anybody who loves Robin Williams.
All right, awesome. Definitely a movie I plan on seeing eventually. That's another one that's been on my list for a while. So,
all right, yeah. My next topic is a Watch Mojo list. Top 10 DreamWorks films.
All right, I'm pretty sure I know what number 1 is, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right, number 10, Over the Hedge.
Okay, what are we doing? I'm sorry, my internet went out.
Top 10 DreamWorks movies.
DreamWorks movies from WatchMojo.com.
Ah, sweet. Okay.
Number 1 is Over the Hedge.
You mean number 10 is Over the Hedge?
Number 10, yeah, my bad. Imagine if number 1 was Over the Hedge. Woo-hoo.
That was mediocre as hell in my opinion.
What, Over the Hedge? I like that movie.
The animation is fucking garbage in that movie. Anyway, number 10, The Prince of Egypt.
You mean number 9?
I have not seen that, actually.
Did I? Well, I don't know how to fucking count. I'm sorry. Leave me alone. But anyway. So, 10 is Over the Hedge. 9 is The Prince of Egypt. Number 8, Road to El Dorado. Another movie I haven't seen in forever.
I have not seen Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, neither have I.
I remember seeing that movie in theaters. I remember seeing both Prince of Egypt and Road to El Dorado in theaters. Number 7, Madagascar 3.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was fine. Yeah, that was decent.
Number 6, which should be up higher on the list, Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, no, that should be... Okay, I mean, at least it's number 6, but that should be on the top 5.
Yeah. Number 5, Ants.
I actually have not seen
that movie. Is not good. Why is that over Wallace and Gromit?
I don't remember this movie, to be honest. I don't. Number 4, Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, great choice. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Number 3, Chicken Run.
Chicken Run's great.
Yeah, it is.
For a second, I was thinking of Chicken Little.
Ah, okay. No, Chicken Run's great.
That's why. I was like, oh, okay. No, Chicken Run's really good.
Wrong chicken movie.
Okay. Number 3, Shrek.
Oh, the first one. That's my number 1, but okay.
Wow, I thought that was going to be number 1. Shit.
And there are some honorable mentions. Flushed Away. Rise of the Guardians. Monsters vs. Aliens. Puss in Boots, and Megamind.
Okay.
Monsters vs. Aliens, I'm sorry, it's not that good.
All right, and number 1, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I agree, honestly. Those have always been my favorite DreamWorks movies.
I can't really argue if someone said How to Train Your Dragon 1 or 2 was their favorite DreamWorks movies. I can't really argue against that.
Yeah.
All right, and my final topic for movies is I wanted to do, I had my own segment that I made, Memory Haze, where I watched a certain franchise filmography of a director or a studio's filmography, and I would rank them all. I wanted to do one. This isn't a huge one because, again, I didn't really have enough time, but I decided to at least do one. And that is the Scream franchise.
Ooh, ranking them all. Oh, shit.
Now, this one's cool because I'm legitimately doing it from memory, and I don't have it written down because it's 4 movies. I knew what they were anyway. This just kind of gave me an excuse to watch them again because I love these movies.
Yes.
Anyway, coming in number 4, Scream 3.
Yeah, that's the weakest one.
Wait, which one? Scream what?
3.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
This is by far the weakest, but I still really enjoy this one. This is more of a guilty pleasure, if anything. There's a lot. It's very, very fucking cliched, and it just gets kind of stupid at points. But I do enjoy it for what it is. I do have a lot of fun with it. I do like who the killer ends up being and his reasoning. I think for a movie like this, the killer has to be good, and the killer is only as good as his motivation or his motive. And because of how he fit into the lore of the franchise already, and how what their motive was, I thought it was a very interesting. Actually, I do like. While this is the weakest motive, it's still not a bad motive at all. I do really like this motive. Coming in number 3, Scream 2.
Yeah.
This is a very underrated movie, in my opinion. I think a lot of more people need to talk about this when it comes to, just horror movies and horror sequels. This is a very good movie. While it's not quite as good as the first one, I don't think, oops, spoiler, anyone would be. It's still a very, very good sequel, and how, you got the surviving members, the few that there are from the first one that come back, and I love how they have adjusted to their life now after the events of the first one, and I like what they're doing because in like the very first scene, they, the character played by Courtney Cox, Gale Weathers, writes a book based off the events of the first one, and they make a movie about it, and they're kind of making fun of the whole thing, and stab is what they call it, and it's funny because and just the opening scene is good, and it does have some hilarious fucking moments because Nev Campbell, who plays Sidney Prescott, makes fun of the fact that they got Tori Spelling to play for her and how pissed off she is by that. And I find it funny because Luke Wilson actually makes a cameo in this one as Billy Loomis in the movie Stab. He plays Billy Loomis. And I just love how, bad he is. And you could tell, obviously, he's supposed to be bad. He's supposed to be really wooden. That's the whole fucking point they're trying to make fun of. And I just love how, wooden he is and how monotone he is and how just not good he is in that. And I just think that's hilarious. But it's still, again, I love, I love part of the motive of the killer in this one. I think that it is pretty good, but there's something else that happens with the killer that I never really liked, and I never really cared for. Coming in number 2, in my opinion, also very criminally underrated. Might be my most underrated movie of the decade. I'm not 100% sure. If it's not my number 1, it's definitely in my top 5 most underrated movies of the decade. That's Scream 4. This movie will ever be the closest thing that comes to the first one. Ever be the closest thing. It literally reinvented itself again. The Scream reinvented the horror genre with the rules and as how it was a satire. This did the same exact thing, and I liked it because it's a new decade, new rules. That was the tagline for this movie, and I like how they go, all right, these are the new rules. We're living in a new age, a new digital age, and I love it up until the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes don't ruin the movie for me, but it's legitimately an A-plus movie, in my opinion, up until the last 20 minutes, where I think they had the perfect send-off for the franchise, the perfect ending for the franchise, and they just kind of ruined it. I love the killer in this one. I love the motive of the killer in this one. I think the performance of the killer is the best, of any of the killers since Skeet Ulrich as Billy Loomis and Stu, Matt Lillard as Stu. And but this is honestly a very commonly underrated movie. I love this movie to pieces. If it weren't for those 20 minutes, it would legitimately be an A+ for me. But because of those last 20 minutes, and I complain about this all the time, this is how they should have done it. It would have been a perfect movie if they would have done this, because this is something that we haven't seen before, and this is something, that we would have been new and fresh, and it would have been like, fuck, that was awesome. Coming in number 1 is Scream.
I mean, it's no surprise, but can you blame them?
Yes. I like that. MC Deadpool says the next movie killer should be Triples because he likes to scream.
Oh, yes.
I think you would be the first killer in the Scream franchise that would actually scream.
Yes, that would be like,
people would die because their eardrums blew out because of how loud you scream.
Yes.
But I mean, for people who know me, this is my favorite horror movie of all. This is my favorite horror movie of all time. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is a movie that I've seen countless times, and each time I legitimately, would I noticed something new, and I love just watching the little stuff about it, especially the performances of Billy Loomis, or Skeet Ulrich's Billy Loomis, and Matt Lillard as Stu. It just, I love seeing the little things and how smart they are. I always talk about Heath Ledger's Joker as my favorite performance of all time. Honestly, Skeet Ulrich's Billy Loomis, up there for me. That might be my second favorite.
Yeah, I was about to say it comes in like a close second for you.
Yeah, it very much comes in a close second for me. I think this is Skeet Ulrich. I've said this for a long time. He's one of my favorite actors, honestly. And I'm upset because we haven't seen enough of him, and I want to see more. And I think he's a very criminally underrated actor because of how little work he gets. He is my favorite part of Scream. He's definitely my favorite part of Riverdale. And I just would love to see more of him. I love him in The Newton Boys. I think he's great in that movie. And he just great actor, in my opinion. And he doesn't get enough work. But Matthew Lillard, too, also gives a fantastic performance. I love it at the end. When how Matthew Lillard is, making fun of Sydney because she just lost her virginity and how she gave it up to the killer. And I think when he got stabbed and he's kind of getting woozy, and he picks up the phone because Sydney called them, and he's like, and the way he's answering, I think it's perfect line delivery, and especially when he goes, "Oh, did you call the cops?" And she goes, "Yeah, I did. You bet your ass I did." And he goes, "My mom was so gonna kill me." And yeah, and I could go on and on about this movie and how much I love it and how much it's impacted me. Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's definitely no surprise to anyone, I believe, that it's my favorite of the franchise.
All right, and is there any more movie topics?
No, that is my last one.
All right, so that is it for our movies forever.
Yep. Oh, shit. We almost went for fucking 2 hours on that shit, but fuck it. Yeah. It's the last podcast. Who gives a shit?
Exactly, yeah. And we still have a lot of viewers so far, too, so.
All right. Hey, this is the last episode. I mean, I held everybody at gunpoint. I'm like, you're fucking watching this.
All right. TV.
Yes.
I only have 3 topics today for TV, so now about the movies. First topic, I believe, Double Nine, you have this topic, so you can join me up for this one. True Detective Season 3 trailer came out.
Yes.
Shit!
It was only a minute long. So
it was very effective.
But very effective, yes. It's more of a teaser trailer. Okay. Here's the thing. It stars Mahershala Ali, and we get some backstory of his character. We're going to see, kind of like similar to the first one, it's going to go back and forth with the time. And oh my God, this trailer was so intriguing, and I really can't wait to see the third season. First season, and I'm going to talk about this a little later for my TV topics. First season's one of my favorite things ever on TV. Season 2 was okay. It wasn't that great. Some good things in it, but overall I was disappointed with it. Season 3 looks very promising, though. Just from that 1-minute trailer, it looks very promising. And it comes out in January, so I can't wait. Double Nine, what do you got to say about this?
I thought the trailer was great. Really has me intrigued. I loved the first season. I still haven't checked out the second season, even though I hear it's not as great, but I do love the first season a lot. So I am very interested to see where this third season could go. I love Mahershala Ali. I think he's a fantastic actor. So I'm very curious to see what he'll bring to this role.
All right. Andrew, have you seen the trailer
No, but I do want to.
Okay. All right, so that concludes that topic. Another topic that I have is an announcement for a new Netflix show coming out on October 12th. Now, October 12th is like a big-ass day because you got Bad Times at the El Royale coming out in theaters. You got First Man coming out in theaters. And now you have this Netflix show. This Netflix show called The Haunting of Hill House.
Wait, this is coming out on that day?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yes, so it's a new horror TV show by Mike Flanagan. And it is a remake or a retelling of a 1959 novel, and yeah, we don't know much about it. There's a teaser trailer, but it really doesn't show anything. It's literally just a camera just panning in a house, and that's literally it. Yeah, there's some set photos. So Mike Flanagan is teaming up again with
Netflix.
Oh my God, what's her name from Gerald's Game?
Oh, that's his wife. Fuck, what's her name?
Oh my God.
I forgot her name, but I know that's his wife.
I'll look it up right now.
All right, but in any case, they're both reteaming again, and the show sounds pretty promising. So, and Mike Flanagan's doing the show. I like Mike Flanagan a lot as a horror director. So, yes, I'm intrigued. You guys have any thoughts on The Haunting of Hill House?
I can't wait for this. Nothing much to say about the teaser trailer because, like I said, it's just a close-up on a house. You know, I like Mike Flanagan a lot as a director.
Kate Siegel.
There you go.
Siegel.
I like him a lot as a director.
No, that's not it. It's Kevin said it. Carla Gugino. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you said from Gerald's Game. Oh, I thought you said Hush.
Gerald's Game.
I'm a dumbass, yeah.
I'm pretty sure she said Gerald's Game too. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a dumbass.
I mean,
I thought you said Hush.
You're not wrong. She is in Gerald's Game.
Okay, but I am excited for the show. I do like the story a lot of the House of Haunted Hill. There are 2 adaptations actually of this in movie form. There was the original that came out I forgot which year. I have seen the remake that they did, but it's been a very long time since I've seen it. But I remember it wasn't that great. But I am interested to see what this TV show will have in store for it.
Yeah, same. I'm just hoping it's good. So October 12th looks very promising. So that's what I got to say about that. You have any thoughts, Andrew? I mean, you don't even have to see the trailer, but hearing that Mike Flanagan's from the show, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a big fan of Mike Flanagan. I don't think I've hated a single thing that he's done that I've seen. And I know he's very passionate about horror. And, you know, I can't really I'm excited, hearing this, that he's doing it. And, I'm sure it's going to be good.
All right. So for my last TV topic ever, I decided to do something special. No TV topic, but I mean, no like news or anything like that or announcements, but rather a list I would like to share.
Shit!
Of my top 10 favorite shows of all time.
Whoa!
Shit, we're all doing kind of lists like these. Oh, fuck.
It's the last episode, bro, so we gotta go all out.
Except for me, I haven't done it.
Okay. So, please keep in mind a couple of things. One, I have absolutely 100% not seen every damn show in the world. And there's a lot of shows on my list that I absolutely want to see, that I've heard great things about. So maybe this list will update in like 10 years or 5 years or 3 years or who the hell knows. But I'll do what Double Nine did and say the exact same thing. As of August 29th, 2018, 9:54 p.m. Eastern, these are my 10 favorite shows. And keep in mind, another thing too, there are absolutely way more than 10 shows that I love. So again, if there's a show that you love that's not on the list, likely it means I really like the show. It's just not on my top 10 favorites.
That means you, Kevin. Calm down if the leftovers are not on the list. So shut the fuck
up. Kevin.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now that's not on the list, and I'll tell you why. I've never seen it, so it can't possibly be on my top 10 list. But you know what? These are my top 10 favorites. So like Double Nine said, favorites, not necessarily the best, but my favorites. All right. Yes. So my opinion, here's my top 10 favorite shows of all time. And here we go. Number 10. Number 10 on my list is Daredevil. Daredevil, from all the superhero shows I've seen, absolutely Daredevil comes across to me as the best and easily my favorite. It's only been 2 seasons so far. Season 3 is announced. I absolutely cannot wait for season 3. But I got to tell you, for me anyway, the first 2 seasons are an A+. Yes, that includes season 2. I know a lot of people have problems with Elektra and said that it was a little uneven. I don't agree, personally.
Me too. I never agreed with those flaws. Like, for me, it was perfect.
Oh, same. I actually give the slight edge over season 2 than over season 1.
Oh, same here.
And season 1 is something that I gave an A+ to. So, yeah. How I always describe the show is like pretty much the Dark Knight, but rated R. And it's so great. Like, the acting is fantastic. Every episode is really well directed. There's some of the best action scenes I've seen on screen when it comes to a stairway case with the long take and a hallway fight. Some phenomenal shit, man. And just great characters. I know Foggy gets a lot of hate. I don't get why. I think he's a likable character. I think he's funny. And I just think the show is phenomenal. Despite being only 2 seasons long, I still love it. So it is my number 10 favorite show of all time.
Nice.
All right, number 9. Now, this might create some controversy, but like I said, this is my list. And I don't care because I absolutely love the show. Number 9 is Dexter.
Nice.
Dexter is absolutely one of my favorite shows. Now, I will say this right off the bat. The series finale was weak. Absolutely, 100%. It could have been better. But you know what? I love the show so much. I can honestly overlook that little flaw that I have with it, with that minor, with that bad ending. Because everything else prior to it is so entertaining. I will never forget. I watched it beginning of my high school years, like a sophomore year, I want to say, that I binge watched the show. And I've never been so into a show and so engaged in the story. And Michael C. Hall, and I know there's some seasons that a lot of people hate, but I would say it's one of the weaker seasons. But even then, consistently, Michael C. Hall is fucking phenomenal in the show. Like, he's just so great. What the show is about is this is a guy who he works in the forensics lab. So he studies how people gets killed. He's like studies the blood and stuff. But at night, he's a serial killer of other serial killers. So he kills bad people, and no one knows that he does that. Yeah. And, you meet other characters, and it's really funny, it's really clever, and it's intense. I will tell you, season 4, with John Lithgow as the villain, is one of the best things I've seen on TV. It's a masterpiece. It's an absolutely phenomenal show. It's on Netflix. I believe, you haven't seen Dexter, please watch Dexter. My number 9. All right, number 8. My number 8 is yet another Netflix show. It's actually my favorite Netflix show. Number 8, Narcos. Narcos is only 3 seasons long, but oh my god, it's terrific. It is so great. And season 3 gets a lot of hate, and I will say it is the least best, but it is still really good. It's still really entertaining. This is a story of Pablo Escobar and how, what he did during his years in Colombia and the manhunt of trying to get Pablo Escobar, and basically you get to see the cartel life and stuff. And it's told in such a brilliant way. It's so entertaining. It's kind of like Goodfellas and Wolf of Wall Street in a sense of, like, there's a lot of narration, but it's not really, I know some people might think of it as exposition. I didn't see it that way at all. I saw it as in a really clever way of telling its story. and the acting here is so terrific. There's a lot of Spanish in this show, which is to be expected because it's trying to be accurate. So there's a lot of subtitles reading. So I know some people are not too big on that, but you know what? If you can be patient and just read it, I'm telling you, it's all worth it. It's so good. The actor who plays Pablo Escobar, fucking phenomenal. And actually, the villain from Logan is in the show. He plays a very important role. He's one of the two main leads, and so is one of the guys from Game of Thrones. He plays Oberyn Martell. They both play very.
Oh yeah, Pablo
I know who you're talking about.
It's Pedro Pascal.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Yes, him. And yeah, the show is just great in my opinion. It's very entertaining, and it's one of the fastest shows I've binge watched too. Like, I got to be honest. I know Netflix has tons of shows. And yeah, there's a few I haven't seen. All the ones I've seen, this is my favorite, and one I've been anticipating for another season. Now, there's no more seasons, just 3 seasons, and that's it. They finished the show. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. All right. Number 7. My number 7 is a show on HBO, Westworld.
Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Again, only 2 seasons, but my God, season 1 and season 2 are A+ for me. One of the smartest, most complex and thought-provoking shows I have ever seen. Now, I know it's loosely based off of a 1973 film, which I still haven't seen, but you know what? This show is so good. It keeps me entertained. I'm constantly guessing on what's going to happen next, and I got to be honest, the show makes me so excited for season 3, because the way season 2 ends, you're like, what the hell? How the hell did they just outdo themselves every time? It's so well written. It's a Western. It's a love story. It's drama. It's like so many genres culminated into one. And Jonathan Nolan, he's a genius. I mean, he's a Nolan, so to be expected, but still.
Yeah.
So that is my number 7. If you haven't seen Westworld, please go watch it. I mean, it's so good. I used to play every Sunday night whenever Walking Dead was on. And honestly, Westworld's a show to see.
Yes.
All right. Number 6. My number 6, oh my God, this show is so phenomenal. Fargo.
Oh,
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fargo is based off of the 1996 film Fargo. This is in the same universe, obviously. And there's 3 seasons, and season 4 is coming out in a couple of years. I talked about this in a couple of episodes prior. And each season is excellent. They all feature a new cast and feature a new story, but they all have something in common. You know, like one event happens, and it's such a stupid event, but it leads to all this crazy shit, and you just get for a really funny, crazy, intense experience with amazing acting and so many things you can never guess that would happen. And it's just so phenomenal. I mean, I feel like it's a show more people should watch, because like the show has its fan base. You know, there's a Twitter account and there are people who like the show, but not enough people watch it. And I don't get why. It's so good. It's so well written. If you love the movie, you will love the show. I promise you. Like, you will really love the show. But even if you hate the movie, I mean, I still think there's a good chance you might like the show too. It has so many talented people attached to the show. And honestly, it's some great shit. It's also a show that you want to – it's kind of hard to watch it weekly because you really want to see what happens next. So if you binge watch it, honestly, that might be better for you. You can make the argument it could be better for any show, honestly. But for this show in particular, yes. Fargo is my number 6. Please watch it. All right, number 5. Now I'm going to break the rules a little bit because this is my list and I don't give a fuck. My number 5 is True Detective Season 1.
Okay.
Is my number 5. This is a masterpiece. One of the absolute greatest things I've ever seen on TV. I've talked about it briefly a little bit, but I got to tell you, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson give arguably their best performances. And I say arguably for Matthew McConaughey because he's done a lot of great shit. But oh my God, here it's easily top 3 best performances at least. And it's not really about, it's not like the show is as simple as in, oh, they have to find a killer and because there's a killer that's on the loose and they're trying to figure out who. No, that's like probably the 9th thing to worry about in that show, because this is really a character study. It's really about them. The character development is so amazing in this. And the drama is so compelling. It's so well written. You can literally hear these 2 guys talking for hours and you wouldn't mind because the dialogue is so well written and the actors play off each other so well. And it's funny because they actually hate each other in the show. You know how like those buddy cop movies, like the characters they can't stand each other, then like they get along at the end. This kind of happens in the same one, but no, they literally hate each other though. Like they can't stand one another. And I found that so mesmerizing and so complex. And honestly, there's so much in this show. And I got to tell you, episode 4, and I won't give any spoilers in case you haven't seen it, which I really highly recommend you do, obviously. But episode 4 has a 6-minute one-take sequence, and it's one of the best one-take sequences I've ever seen. So well done, so intense, and it had me on the edge of my fucking seat. And it's HBO. So, yeah. That is my number 5. I know it's breaking the rules a little bit, but season 1 is a masterpiece. You need to see it if you haven't. And it feels so cinematic, too. Similar to Fargo. Fargo feels very cinematic as well. That's what I love so much about these two shows. All right. We're on the top 4. Number 4, easily it's regarded as one of the best shows ever made. And I'm not even trying to jump on the hype train because this show absolutely deserves every praise it gets. It's gotten praise over the years, and it will still be getting praise over the many years to come. Number 4 is The Sopranos. The Sopranos is basically every mafia movie you can think of, all culminated into one, and you have The Sopranos. This is kind of sentimental to me, too, because I live in New Jersey, all right? And this show takes place in New Jersey. So there's a lot of areas in this show that I recognize that so many times, I can't tell you. I was like, oh, my God, I know that place. Oh, my God, I know that place. And I know that place. I know this. And I was just like, having a little bit of like, oh shit, that's cool, a cool moment. But no, this show is brilliant. I mean, Tony Gandolfini is phenomenal in this show. He's so good as Tony Soprano, and this show gives no fucks. All right, like any character could die at any second because shit happens. People get killed a lot. And you're just so invested in its story. The characters are amazing. Even like what happens with the son, the arcs he goes through with the daughter, it's all so fascinating. And I know the finale is very polarizing. For me, it works really well. I know if you disagree, that's completely fine. I can understand that. But for me, it works really well. And the acting is phenomenal. And it gets pretty crazy, too. And it's also really funny. Like, oh, my God, there's some scenes where I'm dying. And you got to watch Sopranos, man. I mean, I know it's a cliche. Everyone says it's one of the greatest shows of all time. I'm telling you, they say that for a reason. Sopranos is my number 4, and it's so damn entertaining, too. All right. Number 3. My number 3 is yet another show from HBO, The Wire. The Wire is a show I will never understand, and I mean never understand why the hell the Emmys never acknowledged it. I think it got acknowledged maybe twice for like directing of one episode, which is like the biggest mindfuck of all time because that show is probably the best crime drama show you will ever see. The best cop show, I should say, to be more specific. This takes place in Baltimore, and it really is about the drug war that's going on in Baltimore. So you really get what's so great about this show is you really get perspectives of one side is the police, the other side is where the drug thing is happening. So you get a really good perspective of the drug life and the police. And honestly, a lot of the interesting parts are when they focus on like what's going on in the projects and what they're going through. So many great performances here, too. And Omar, the character of Omar is one of my favorite characters in anything, any movie, any TV show. He's so badass. And it has one of the best finales I've ever seen in a TV show, for sure. I don't know why people complain about it. It's beyond my belief. But you know what? It makes for a really fascinating show. And again, like Sopranos, hailed as one of the greatest shows of all time, and for all the right reasons. I saw The Wire and The Sopranos in one summer. One of the best choices I ever made in my life, watching those two shows back to back. Okay, number 2, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a fucking masterpiece. All right, I don't, really, like Saving Private Ryan, anyone who says Game of Thrones is overrated, I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's just not overrated at all. All right, the visuals are phenomenal. The story is so engaging. There's so many story arcs and characters and yet it manages to keep you interested in everything that's going on. And each season, I think, is fantastic. Honestly, I don't think there's been one weak season at all. Every show is either an A or an A+. It's just phenomenal all the way through. And like Sopranos, I would say honestly, this is the #1 show that doesn't hold anything back. And no one is safe, and it consistently surprises you. So you got to watch it it's really a show I really wish everyone in the world could watch, honestly, because it's just so fascinating. And yeah, it's really gory. And there's a lot of nudity, a lot of blood, and there's even a watch Mojo list of the top 10 controversial moments. So yeah, the show is very controversial, but you know what? I love it to death. I love it to death. And yeah, I absolutely 100% cannot wait for season 7. It is by far my most anticipated season from then on. And #1, my favorite show of all time, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, boy, the only right #1 choice.
Breaking Bad is brilliant. There's no other way to say it. It is brilliant. I absolutely love every season. It is the only show I know that gets better with each season. Each season is better than the last.
Oh, yeah.
And Walter White, one of my favorite characters ever. Gus is one of my favorite characters ever. And this show, it's so entertaining. It's so well done. It's so intense. Season 4 and season 5 for me are the absolute best. Like, for sure. I know a lot of people say season 4 is the best. Season 5 for me is the best, as much as I love season 4. And it also probably has my favorite finale of any TV show that I've seen. So there's just so much greatness in this show, and you have to watch it. Like, it's just so crazy. It starts off like, wait, how is this gonna start? How is this gonna, what is this gonna lead up to? And then when it leads up to some things, you're like, oh my god, the main actor, Bryan Cranston. I mean, it's crazy how much his character changes from season 1 till the end of the season. Like, it's really insane when you think about it. And everyone gives a phenomenal performance. And it is my favorite show of all time. I absolutely plan to revisit it again sometime in the future to watch it again because I just want to. So, yeah, these are my 10 favorite shows. Again, keep in mind my list. I haven't seen every show. So if there's a show you love, it's not on the list. There's either 2 possibilities.
Yeah, one, keep the keyboard down, Kevin.
1, I haven't seen it. Or 2,
it sucks.
I might as well love the show. I might love the show, but there's only 10 shows I'm picking. So, yeah. All right. That is it for my TV topics. So, yeah, Double Nine. Do you have any TV topics today?
I've got 2. All right. So, here's one that I think MC Deadpool will be very, very interested in. So, there was a little teaser. It's not nothing big, but it was a little teaser of the season 3 of Lethal Weapon. And this, I remember I reported earlier this year that Sean William Scott will be replacing the guy that played Riggs on the show. And it shows a little bit of that, of their partnership and whatever in it. And it looks pretty cool. I might actually watch the first episode of that season just to kind of see, because I do like Sean William Scott a lot as an actor. So I really am intrigued to see that this could be maybe his comeback, his back in the limelight of things. So maybe that will be hopeful of that. Like I said, there's nothing much to talk about with this, but I wanted to bring it up because I do have some interest in it now to see how he would do in the show.
Yeah, I have not seen this show at all. I've seen only the first movie, and that's a really good movie.
Yes.
But I don't know how the show is. But I'm glad they have a replacement. I really don't have much of an opinion on this.
Yeah. Which is fine, which is fine. I don't know if Andrew's got any opinion on this.
Yeah, and I actually never seen a Lethal Weapon movie, so I don't know.
You need to see the first one at least immediately. Now, on to my last TV topic. So the CW's...
Don't yell at me.
Shut up. Now, the CW's 2018 DC crossover event will include Superman and Lois Lane. And also, apparently, there's supposed to be some epic Superman, Flash, and Arrow scenes. Boy! Let me tell you. Boy! Okay, listen, I have been mixed lately on these CW shows, but fuck, man, if Superman is going to be involved in this shit, oh my god, this is going to be the greatest crossover event of all time. Okay, listen, we've got Batwoman, we've got Arrow, we've got The Flash, we've got Supergirl. Now we have fucking Superman in this shit. Let's fucking go, okay? I am hyped for this. My God almighty, I cannot fucking wait. Now, Superman was in the first 2 episodes of Supergirl in the 2nd season, I believe. And I like the guy that played Superman in there. So to see that he's finally coming back for this crossover event, let's fucking go, okay? I cannot wait. Dude, I am hyped for this shit. When I found out about this, I was like, yes. Let's go. Jesus Christ, I busted like 5 nuts over this. Let's do this. I cannot wait for this shit. Holy fuck. Andrew, say something before I have a heart attack.
No, when I found out that this was happening, I got really excited. I mean, Flash I thought was actually really good this season. Arrow wasn't. I still got to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl. But still, I mean, the crossover event last year was probably the best part about any of what I've seen of the Arrowverse last year. So I feel like they're going to trying to, do something good with Superman here.
Yeah, I'm hyped for this.
Yeah, so am I.
Holy crap. Like, I was hyped beforehand, but, like, adding Superman to the mix of all of this is even better.
Before you go on, I actually got breaking news.
Okay.
Okay.
Tarantino just came out that Tarantino, it's confirmed on who Charles Manson's going to be.
Okay.
Okay, who?
Damon Harriman.
Okay.
From it says he's in Justified, was in Breaking Bad. I don't know what in Breaking Bad, but it says he was in Breaking Bad.
All right, I gotta see who this actor is.
Yeah, but just wanted to let everybody know Charles Manson has been cast.
Nice. All right, Andrew, you got any TV topics?
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, shit, son. Oh, shit. I got 2.
Okay.
My first is something that I'm sure Double Nine will want to join me about. Neville, WWE wrestler, has it's been officially confirmed. He has officially been released from the WWE. He's been in a contract dispute with them for well over a year. This comes to no surprise for me. I'm upset that he's gone, but I really want to see him in New Japan is where I want to see him because I think he could do some great things in New Japan. I don't know what he's going to do after this, but what I'm hoping for is he ends up in New Japan.
Yes. Oh, I would love that, honestly. Like, he is a great wrestler. I loved him in WWE, especially when he came back and he did the whole King of the Cruiserweight shit. Like, that was great. So I would love to see him go to New Japan. That'd be pretty awesome, to say the least. Even if he went to Lucha Underground, that'd be very interesting as well.
Yeah.
I would like to see that shit. But yeah, New Japan, I think, would be the place for him to go right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely think New Japan is where he belongs right now.
Yeah, definitely. So, but I'm sad to see him gone because he was one of my favorites. But if you can find work other places, that'd be great too. Courtney
And my second and final movie topic is that Courtney Cox has been cast in Shameless Season 9. I'm in... But I just thought this was pretty well-worthy news. I like Courtney Cox a lot as an actress.
Yeah, I can't wait for a new season of Shameless too. So
I haven't seen Shameless, but I do like Courtney Cox a lot, so that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, you should definitely see it. Really good.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. Right, that's it for TV. Do we have any video game topics today?
I don't, but Andrew, I know he's the king of this shit, but do you?
Well, I do got a topic.
Okay, what is it, sir?
I watched Mojo List. Top
Okay,
10,
cool.
Top 10 most anticipated video games for the rest of 2018.
Okay. I know what my number one is, but go ahead.
I'm pretty sure everybody got the same number one at this point.
Yes.
Anyway, number 10 is Spyro the Reignited Trilogy.
Cool.
9, Hitman 2. 8, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. 7, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Okay.
6, Forza Horizon 4.
Okay.
5, Fallout 76. 4,
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. 3,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought that was going to be number one. Okay, what's the other two?
2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay.
Honorable mentions, Battlefield 5. Soul Calibur 6, Just Cause 4. And number 1, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, wait, never mind. Well, I'm looking for, personally, my most anticipated games for the rest of the year are Spider-Man and 2K19, WWE. So,
and before I go on, I'm getting news that Neville was not officially released. It was all a lie. He's in talks. It was just a rumor. I don't know what the fuck I read, but apparently it was a lie. So thank you for letting me know.
that one pie guy, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Brown. You're the man. But he's in talks right now to get a contract extension. I hope he resigns it and they use him properly. If not, I hope he goes to New Japan.
Pretty much. There we go. So I guess we're on to the final topic of
we are on
the whole show.
Music. So I only have one thing I want to talk about because today would have been Michael Jackson's birthday. But he died in 2009, so you know. But I do want to talk about him a little bit because he is my favorite singer of all time, and I grew up a lot with his music. You know, I used to listen to his music a lot when I was little, and even till today. I mean, it's a very cliche thing to say, but his music still lives on. Phenomenal singer, easily one of the best of all time. Even doing a top 10 list, which we did, it was one of the very first lists we've done.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to do that top 10 list. Like, I know there was a bunch we left off that we felt bad for leaving off because the guy has just done a lot of really good stuff. So, I just wanted to take a moment to remember him. I mean, he's never going to be forgotten, but,
yes,
it would have been his birthday today. And,
Oh, yeah. He's one of the greatest musicians to ever live. Like, it's just a fact on that shit. Like, he is just one of the greatest musicians to ever have lived. And I love his music. I grew up on his music quite frequently because my mom was a huge fan of him, still is to this day. And, I love a lot of his music. Like, songs like They Don't Care About Us, Black or White, Smooth Criminal still remain some of my favorite songs of all time.
Mm-hmm. And
the dude was a talent. He could dance like no other. He could sing like no other. Just the dude had it all. Like, I knew he had some shit going on and whatever, but, he was just such a great musician. Like, no one could ever replace him, to be honest. He's been praised as the greatest pop star of all time for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's sad that he's missed, dearly. Like, I can't believe next year's gonna be like the 10th anniversary of his death. Like, that just time goes by way too fast. But he's still missed deeply to this day. And let's remember him on his 60th birthday.
Yes. All right, and Andrew, do you have any thoughts you want to?
Yeah, no, it's been. I remember where I was when it happened. I was shocked. I'm sure most people were. I can't believe it's been as long as it has. Like, to be 100% honest, it's been pretty crazy. To be honest, he's definitely one of my favorites, and I can't believe
All right, so that's pretty much what I got to say about music. So Double Nine, other than what we doing with the Hallelujah thing, do you have any other topics before that?
I do have one other music topic, but I want to save that for last. So we're gonna do the Hallelujah thing first, personally. If that's fine with you guys.
Yeah, fine with me.
Oh, I want to save the thing that I have for like after I want to do the Hallelujah thing first.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Then we'll do the then I'll do my thing that I want to do. Okay, so I had these fuckers. So we're gonna do one last cover versus original. We had to go out big with this because this is the most covered song to fucking death. So we had to do this one, and that is of Hallelujah. Now I picked out 6 versions of this song for us to go through and for us to rank them. So yeah, I'm actually not going to go first. I'm actually going to let Andrew go first to rank them.
For the rank them. Oh,
yes.
Okay, let me get my list out.
Yeah, I actually ranked him this time because last week I.
Because I keep on clicking on the wrong goddamn list. There we go. All right, coming in at number 6 is I do gotta say, like last week, I did enjoy all 6 of these versions.
Yes.
They're all pretty good, but my number 6 is Katie Lang's.
Yes.
That's just my number 6. I thought that this one, while I did enjoy it, there was nothing that really overly stood out to it for me. I did enjoy the vocals the least out of all 6 of these, and that's pretty much why I have it number 6.
All right, who's going next? Me or you, Double Nine?
Okay, Diego, you're next.
Okay. This might come as a shock. My number 6 is Leonard Cohen's.
Really? Oh shit!
Yeah. I'm sorry. Out of all the ones I've listened to, it's my least favorite.
And that's the original. So that's a shocker.
Yeah, I know. All right. I'll just say this. All these versions are really good, honestly. Anyone who had this as number 1, any of them, I couldn't blame you. But I mean, it's still really good though. Like, it's catchy. The chorus is, really nice to listen to. It's a great song, and I know there's been like thousands of covers of it, but the original is still the original. It's still really good. It's just the reason why it's my number 6. Again, does it mean it's bad? It means it's still my least favorite.
It's just the one that just you don't really come back to all that much.
Yeah, that's my number 6.
All right, my number 6 is actually along with Andrew, K.D. Lang's version. Kind of the same reasonings like he did. His vocals were really good on it, but out of all the ones that are on this list, I feel like he's the least impressive one. While he's still really good, I just think he just doesn't hold as much merit as the other ones. But this version is still really good. I still think is a very good version of the song. I do quite enjoy it a lot. So now back to Andrew. Comes in 5th place.
The original one, Leonard Cohen's.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, his vocals were really good with this one.
Yes.
And I don't know. While I do like his vocals, I thought for a song like this, I didn't really think the deep voice worked as well as it should have. A lot of the ones that I do have in front of them, it's a higher octave of singing, and that's what I enjoyed, at least for this song. And while I do like this cover, it's just that the deep voice kind of is why it's so low for me.
The same, honestly. That's probably why it was my least favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
So back to Diego.
Okay, so my number 5 is John Cale.
Nice.
This is the Scrubs version, right?
Yes, this was the one that was featured on the Scrubs soundtrack.
Okay. All right. Again, it's still pretty good. I definitely like the vocals here. I think they're pretty strong. It's just a matter of preference, I guess. It's just my number 5 simply because I prefer the other 4. That's all I can really say, but it's still a good cover, though.
Yes.
For sure. So, yeah.
All right, my number 5 is actually same again as Andrew. Is Lan Cohen's original.
Ha
I personally really like the deep voice a lot. I think it adds something very different to this. I know this is the original, but like I like how it is different from the others. But I could see where you guys are coming from in that, where it doesn't really necessarily work all the best with the song. But I do quite like it. It's just the one I come back to. Just the last two are like the ones I come back to the least, and this one I don't really listen to as much as all the other ones that I'm about to mention. So yeah, that's next one, Lan Cohen's. Now we're back to Andrew.
My number 4 is jeez, I keep on clicking on the wrong goddamn list. Is the one from Scrubs, John Cale.
Nice.
I actually really like this one. But the only thing that it's kind of down below, I do like the other 3 better, and it does kind of sound similar to one that I will mention later.
Okay. Diego.
My number 4 is Jason Castro.
Nice.
Yeah, again, another really good cover. The vocals here and the guitar playing in particular are it's really nice to listen to. And it's pretty, it's you can listen to it over and over again and I get tired of it. But again, just prefer the other 3. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Same for me actually. Jason Castro's version is my number 4 as well.
Oh, okay.
Kind of the same reasons you said. The guitar playing's really good on here. His voice is really fucking impressive on this. Actually, I really liked his vocal work on this a lot. It's a very good cover of the song. Definitely. I actually had never heard of it until I was trying to find ones for our thing, and I'm glad I picked this one honestly for this because this was actually the last choice I made for the list. So I'm glad this made it on here because this is a really good version of the song.
Yes.
All right, Andrew.
My number 3 is the one from Shrek, Rufus Wainwright. It's actually
nice.
The one that I knew probably the most. I do really like the piano on this and the vocals, and I think just both of those work really well together.
Nice.
All right. For me, number 3 and 2 were hard because I kept on switching back my 2 and 3. I think they're both incredible, but I had to go with this. So my number 3 is Jeff Buckley.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Phenomenal, honestly. It's really, really good. Great vocal work. And yeah, I think it's just a great cover all around. So he really puts a lot of emotion in the song, and you can hear it. You know, you can hear the amount of passion he has and the emotion he puts in, which is always a good. So, my number 3, Jeff Buckley.
All right. My number 3 is John Cale's version.
Okay.
I really love how his voice sounds. That's what makes this above the others a little bit for me. I think his voice is really great with this. I love the piano work as well with this song too. It's a really great version. It's one that I've heard before actually, and it's one that still remains one of my favorite versions of this song. All right, Andrew.
My number 2 is actually the Jason Castro version.
Oh, nice.
I love the guitar playing in this, and his voice is really, really good in this one. And if it weren't for a certain someone that will be mentioned later, this would probably be my number 1. It's like honestly very close, to be honest, for me.
My number 2 is Katie Lang.
Nice.
I really love her version, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, no. I mean, good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed that version.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. I think her vocals are really powerful here. So, yeah, it's my number 2.
Nice. My number 2 is Rufus Wainwright's version. This is the one from. This is the one that's featured on the Shrek soundtrack, and like Andrew, I think this is the one I've heard the most in my entire life because of the amount of times I watched Shrek and heard the soundtrack. But It's great. Like, I love his vocal work in this. And we mentioned him. Actually, he wasn't in one of these far too long ago. He was in the Across the Universe one.
Oh,
and,
right. Yeah.
And I remember we all chose him as, like, the last choice, like, in the last place. But he's done some great covers, man. The fact that he's
competing against the Beatles, though. I mean,
this is true. And his version of this song is really great. Like, if the number one choice didn't exist, this would easily be the best cover of this song, in my opinion. I really love his version of this song so much. So that's my number 2.
All right, now we're on to number 1. So, Angie, what's your favorite Hallelujah song?
My favorite Hallelujah song is Jeff Buckley's. It pretty much the guitar playing, and I think his vocals are the best out of all of them. He's just one of the best singers of all time. I mean, I know Double Nine thinks he's the best.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but he easily is the best singer and has the best vocals out of any of these.
All right, number 1 for me is Rufus Wainwright.
Nice.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah. Understandable. I mean, it was my number 2, so I understand completely.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it's definitely my favorite version I've heard out of all these, like, for sure. And, yeah, I mean, you guys said it all, but it's a really, really great cover. So,
yes,
it's my number 1.
All right, my number 1 is Jeff Buckley. I feel like I figured everyone was going to see this coming from a mile away, but I don't care. But this honestly, this version of the song is my favorite cover of all time, honestly. Not just of this of this song, it's just my favorite cover in general. Like, it is so mesmerizing and so beautiful and so poetic that it honestly, like I said with The Shape of Water, it honestly makes me cry. Like, it really does. Like, it's one of the few songs that makes me cry. It really does. Like, it's almost 7 minutes long. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, there's literally one section of the song where he just plays the guitar the entire time. Like, the vocals don't come back in until, almost the end of the song. Like, it's fantastic. And it's literally just him and the guitar. Nothing else. And it is amazing. Like, the way he sings it, it's so beautiful. Oh, man, it's so mesmerizing. Like Andrew said, I personally think, in my personal opinion, Jeff Buckley is the greatest vocalist that had ever lived. And this song is, like, a prime example in showing that. Because, man, he just blows this, like, song out of the water. He really does. And I absolutely love his version of this song. And it's absolutely my favorite cover of all time.
All right. Awesome. So,
okay.
What's your next music topic, Double Nine?
Okay, my next music topic, we're going to be here for a while again because I got another top 20 list to do.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy. But yes, my next top 20 list is going to be very fun. That's my top 20 favorite bands of all time.
Oh, man.
Well, I shouldn't say of all time because these are just my top 20 favorite bands. Like with the movies list, this list can very much change within a month, honestly. So as of right now, as of August 29th, 2018, 10:39 p.m., this is my top 20 favorite bands of all time. All right, so let's do this. Are you guys ready? All right, let's get into this.
I've been born ready.
You've been more ready? You've been more ready than ever?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so here we go. At number 20, I have Chevelle. Chevelle. Now, number 20 was very difficult, actually. I went back and forth with like 4 different bands for the number 20 spot. I was going between the Beatles, Radiohead, Joy Division, and Chevelle. Those are the 3 bands I was going back and forth with for the number 20 spot. But I went with Chevelle because I love how this band proceeds with their music. They are a alternative, kind of almost hard rock group in a way. Their vocalist is one of the most underrated vocalists ever. I absolutely love his voice. It fits with the style of the music that he's making. And overall, Chevelle just is my pick for like the most underrated band in history. They're just a band that I think doesn't get enough recognition. And their music is absolutely incredible. So, yeah, they deserve to come in as my number 20. All right, my number 19 is My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance has always been a band that I've always enjoyed. I really got into their music last year. That's when I really started listening to their music more and really enjoying it. They have made so much great music from, of course, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Of course, the most ambitious and most epic album, The Black Parade. The stuff on that is absolutely incredible. The way that they just stray away from being a typical emo band to just making some epic rock tunes is absolutely incredible. And I absolutely love their music a lot. And they are easily one of my favorite bands of all time, and they deserve to be on this top 20. My number 18 is Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine is the ultimate just fuck you to the man band, basically. They don't give a fuck. They're going to speak their minds about what they want to talk about. And their music has shown that quite frequently. They're a very political band, but, they make it work. They make their statement very much heard. And, they do a great job with that with songs like Killing in the Name, Bulls on Parade, Wake Up, or Bomb Track, Freedom. They just show that they want to have their voice heard, and they show that very primarily with their music. And they do it so well, in my opinion. I really love their music a lot. So my number 18 is Rage Against the Machine. Number 17 is Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam is one of the best grunge bands to have ever exist. They're a band, that was very landmark in the grunge genre, and they are still one of the best. They used to be very much higher on my list. They kind of lowered down with other bands as of recently, but they're still one of my all-time favorites. I love their album 10. It's probably my favorite debut album of all time. I love that album to death. Also, a lot of their other stuff, too, is great. And, I love Versus a lot. That's another great album. Eddie Vedder is, one of the best vocalists ever. He's just an absolutely great vocalist, in my opinion. So, Pearl Jam comes as my number 17. My number 16, Led Zeppelin. If out of any of the classic rock bands, like the Beatles or Queen or the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin is my favorite out of those classic rock bands. Robert Plant is an absolutely tremendous vocalist. Jimmy Page is an excellent guitarist. Everyone else in the band too is really good. The bassist is really great. The drummer's great. They've made some really fantastic classic rock music. And Led Zeppelin 4 still remains one of my favorite albums. I love that album a lot. And they're just a fantastic band. And I definitely think they're probably the best classic rock band of all time. Number 15 is Alice in Chains. Another very great grunge band from the 90s. They're one that has made their statement primarily in the grunge movement. And they are absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion. I love their music, from stuff like Facelift to Dirt to their self-titled album, has been absolutely incredible. I love their stuff from the 90s. The Jar of Flies EP is probably my favorite EP of all time. I love that EP to death. It's probably the band's best work, in my opinion. So
I heard their latest album wasn't very good.
It was, that wasn't very good. But I didn't really like that album all that much. But everything else for the most part they've done has been really great, in my opinion. Not everybody can make a hit, so there are always going to be duds here and there for some bands. There's not, but there's definitely for a lot of them. They have their misses and stuff. So that's my number 15, Alice in Chains. So did you hear the rest of the list, Diego? I know you had to go for a second.
Oh yeah. I've been listening. I just I'm eating right now, so that's why I'm just listening.
Okay, not talking about us. Okay, I thought. Okay, all right. So that's my number 15, Alice in Chains. My number 14 is The Killers. Yes,
that's a great choice. Yeah, great band.
The Killers are absolutely great, in my opinion. They have a great aesthetic to them. They're very flamboyant, electronic, and not necessarily electronic, but they're very just out there, and I like that. And they're just fun. very upbeat for the most part with a lot of their music. I really like that a lot. Songs like Mr. Brightside, Somebody Told Me, all these things that I've done when you're young. So many great hits, so many great albums. Hot Fuzz is still one of my favorite albums of all time. I love that album to death. Same with Sam's Town, another great one. Day and Age is another very good one in my opinion. So yeah, The Killers, great band. I really love their music a lot. Number 13, Breaking Benjamin.
Awesome choice. Love that band.
Breaking Benjamin is just one of the most rocking bands ever. That's just the perfect way to describe them. They just are a great alternative, just hard rock group. And I think out of all the ones to come out of that like post-grunge movement, they were definitely the best, I think, to come out of that. Either them or another one I'll talk about very later on in this list. I love the music. Benjamin Burley is a very underrated vocalist. I feel like he doesn't get as much appreciation as he should. I love his vocal work. It fits very much with the style of the music that he's making. And I know the band has gotten some criticism for always like, oh, they sound the same with a lot of the stuff they're doing. For me, it doesn't seem like as much as a problem. If you could still make it good, then it's not as much as a problem for me. And plus, they have changed up with some things too. So, but yeah, I love Breaking Benjamin to death. Definitely one of my favorites. Deserves to come in as my number 13. My number 12 is Weezer. Weezer is definitely a very big part of the 90s alternative move of the alternative rock move in the 90s. Their album, the Blue Album, is very highly praised. Same with their album Pinkerton, which are both phenomenal. I slightly prefer the Blue Album, but they're both phenomenal albums. And go on to make many other great albums too, like the Green Album or the White Album that they made a few years back. Very great band in my opinion. Rivers Cuomo is definitely one of the best songwriters out there. I love a lot of the stuff that he makes. And they're a fantastic band in my opinion. Number 11, Metallica. Arguably the greatest heavy metal band of all time. I love this band's music. Sure, their later works isn't necessarily the best for the most part, but a lot of their earlier stuff is really great, especially the first 5 albums from Kill Them All to Ride the Lightning to Master of Puppets to And Justice for All to the Black Album. These guys just have made some great heavy metal rock tunes, and I love that a lot about this band. And also, Cliff Burton is one of the greatest bassists of all time. His bass lines with a lot of this stuff are really fantastic in my opinion, and I love that. So, yeah, Metallica, great heavy metal band in my opinion. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, so now we're in the top 10, folks. We're in the top 10. Holy shit. So, here we fucking go. The top 10. Number 10, Queens of the Stone Age.
I got to listen to more of their music, honestly. I haven't heard much of their stuff.
Oh, you definitely should, man. Oh, you okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. You should definitely listen to the album Songs for the Deaf. That's probably their best album, in my opinion. But yeah, the Queens of the Stone Age are fantastic. I love their groove that they have with a lot of their music. They are also a band that always trying to change things up with their style. I really like that. Like, it shows very prominently on albums like Rated R, or Lullabies to Paralyze, or their latest album, Villains. And I love their music a lot. And their lineup changes very frequently with their band. And I like that. Brings in new elements and stuff like that. All right, number 9 is Slipknot.
That's another band I got to listen to more of their music, too.
Now, I go back and forth with them. And I will be honest, like, one day, like, I go back and forth with them with Metallica as, like, my favorite metal band. Like, one day it's Metallica, the other day it's Slipknot, so who knows? Tomorrow it might be Metallica, and the next day it might be Slipknot. But for now, it's Slipknot. Their band's music, they are probably the most intense band I listen to. They just fucking go at it, and I love that. Like, Corey Taylor is one of the most passionate vocalists in metal. Also, he might be the most passionate vocalist in metal, to be honest. Like, the dude just gives it his all. He has a great presence to him. So does the other members of the band. The drummer is one of my favorite drummers of all time. Like, I love the drumming that they do for their music. The guitar playing is great. The bassist is fantastic. Like, they just make some awesome ass-heavy metal music. And it's just such a blast to listen to. My number 8 is Soundgarden.
Nice.
Soundgarden is my second favorite grunge band of all time. Chris Cornell is easily one of the greatest vocalists of all time. Bad Motorfinger is a great album, in my opinion. I enjoyed the earlier stuff, but when they did Bad Motorfinger, that's when they hit their stride. And they did even better with Super Unknown. And even though this band kind of broke up for a little bit, after 1996, came back in 2010, they were still a force to be reckoned with, to be honest. They made their landmark in grunge, and they're still heavily regarded as one of the most influential bands out there. And like I said, Chris Cornell easily has one of the best voices of all time. And it's such a shame that he's no longer with us, to be honest, because the dude was amazing at what he did. And to me, the best he ever showed his abilities was with Soundgarden. And I love this band to death. Definitely was one of those bands that very early on got me into the music that I love today. Number 7, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great band.
Yes.
This band is fantastic. I think this is the very first band I ever really had a great admiration for, honestly, because just the way that they played the music is very funky, very high energy. Like, there's hardly a song of them where it's not slowing down. You know what I mean? Even though my favorite song by them is one of the much more kind of slower and calmer songs, which is Californication. That song is an absolute masterpiece, in my opinion. Probably my second favorite song of all time. And I love this band's music. The album Californication still remains one of my favorites. Blood, Sex, Sugar, Magic is an absolutely great album, too. I love this band's aesthetic. It's fantastic, in my opinion. And I still love this band to this day. So, yeah, my number 7 is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 6 is the Foo Fighters.
Andrew's favorite.
Yeah, Andrew's favorite boy. Dave Grohl is one of the best musicians on the face of the planet. He was a drummer for another certain band that we'll talk about a little bit later on in the list. And, after that band, unfortunately, was no longer, he decided to make his own band, and where he's the lead vocalist and the lead guitarist. And their music is absolutely great. I love their music, some of the best music of the 90s and the 2000s, and they're still going strong today. And I love them for that. Like, Dave Grohl, like I said, is one of the best musicians to ever walk the face of the planet. And I feel like he shows his full potential with this band in particular. And I love the Foo Fighters to death. So yeah, my number 6 is the Foo Fighters. All right, my number 5. We're in the top 5, folks. All right, here we go. Don't worry, I will not take up more of your time for not much longer. All right. But number 5 is 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I figured you were going to talk about them sooner or later.
Yeah, definitely a band that I love very much. Trent Reznor might be my favorite frontman, or probably my favorite frontman of all time. Him and a certain other person that we'll talk about a little bit later on in the list. Maybe Diego might know who I'm talking about a little bit later on in this list. Maybe might be my favorite. But, like, him and Trent Reznor go back and forth. Trent Reznor is one of the absolute most just badass people in rock. He's made some of the best music with 9 Inch Nails. I love how experimental this band is, too. They're very hard. They have their hard aggression, like industrial rock music. They also have their very experimental electronic music. I like that about the band. They're very different. They very they're out there in a way, and they make some of the most interesting music in rock, in my opinion. I like that a lot about this band, and some of their stuff from the Downward Spiral to the Fragile to even their most recent album, Bad Witch. The band has continued previously why they're one of the most interesting acts in rock music, and just in music in general. All right, my number 4 is Blink-182.
Nice. Yeah, I love that band.
This band is great, okay? And what I love about this band, too, is that there's not one but 2 lead vocalists with this band, and they both play off each other very well. And want to know what's cool? The songs that they pick for each other to sing fit them very well. Like, the styles of them fit very well. Like, I couldn't see the other singing them because it just fits so well with the person that is singing that song. I really like that. Like, Mark Hoppus is a great bass player. I like Tom DeLonge's guitar work. Travis Barker is probably, in my opinion, the most talented person of the band. I love his drumming. He's like an excellent drummer, in my opinion.
They nuts.
Just make. What'd you say?
I said he's nuts.
He is, and I love him. He's a great drummer, and like he just does a fantastic job. Like, you guys saw him live. Like, I can't even imagine how he sounds live. Like, he must be insane.
Oh, it was a great concert.
Yeah. So yeah, my number 4 is Blink-182. Now, my top 3, I could easily put all 3 of these bands as my number 1, honestly. But since I like to stretch it out and like to rank them, here's how I rank them. Now, to be fair, I will be honest. Some days, these go back and forth. There's like one band could be my number 1 out of these 3, then the other could be number 1. It's very primary. But I think, for now, I think this will remain the top 3 forever, honestly, because these are the 3 bands I constantly listen to the most, have the most appreciation for. All right, my number 3 is Muse.
Awesome.
Yes.
Glad you have it in top 3 at least.
Muse is one. It's just, they're one of the best. They're just one of the all-time greats. And like I said before, there was another person that I have that just rivals Trent Reznor as my favorite frontman, and that's Matthew Bellamy. Matthew Bellamy is like my second favorite vocalist ever. Like, the dude is insane. Like, he hits those high notes like it's a fucking easy-ass job to do. Like, he is an incredible frontman and vocalist to the band. He's also a fantastic guitarist, too. Like, some of the guitar work that he does, whether it be with Reapers, Knights of Sidonia, Hysteria, like Plug-In Baby, like, the dude knows how to make a good guitar riff. The bassist, Chris Wolfenholmes, like, he just is great. Like, the bass line with Hysteria is probably my favorite bass line of all time. Like, it is insane. Dominic Howard's a great drummer. Like, everyone just plays their part excellently. And their music, oh, I love it how they change up their style with each album as well. It never feels the same. Like, it really does. Like, they change up with their style with each of their albums, and it's great. And it makes for a much more unique listening experience, in my opinion. Like, it's absolutely great. This is like a very talented ass band, and I love them. And I feel like they don't get enough as appreciation as they really should, and they are amazing in my eyes. And one day I need to see these fuckers live, because that is like high on of the things to do in my life, is see these guys live. Like,
you absolutely have to.
Like seriously. Yeah, you've seen them twice, so you know, like. Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's my number 3, Muse. My number 2 is Green Day.
Damn, I thought that was going to be number 1.
No, I know what his number 1 is.
Dude.
No, so now I know too, but I'm saying I thought his 1 and 2 would be.
Like I said, these 3, honestly, honestly, there have been days where I have thought Green Day's my favorite band, to be honest. There's been days where I thought Muse is my favorite band, to be honest. So, like I said, this is why I think these 3 will remain the top 3 forever for me. But Green Day, this band, I cannot tell you how much I love these guys. These guys, not only just they've helped me throughout some things in my life as well. They're just a band I always come back to. American Idiot is my second favorite album of all time. That album is just pure perfection. Dookie is another great one.
I just love saying Dookie.
Nimrod is great. Warning, 24. They Revolution Radio. These guys have made almost masterpiece after masterpiece. They are just an absolutely phenomenal band. Like, they just create so much fantastic music, in my opinion, and they just will continue to be a band that I'll always come back to. All right, number 1 is Nirvana. Now, I'm pretty sure either people thought Green Day or Nirvana was going to be my number 1. It was either one of those 2.
I'm going to be honest. I
What?
thought Guns N' Roses are going to be your number 1.
I knew that he was going to fucking say that. But no, Nirvana is my favorite band of all time. I think they will always remain my favorite band, just because they're the band that really helped me out with a lot of the stuff that I love. And without them, I wouldn't have the great appreciation for music that I do have. This band only made 3 albums, and like, these 3 albums are like better than band's entire, like In Utero is better than almost every band's discography, in my opinion. Like, that is my favorite album of all time. That is just pure perfection from front to back. And like, Kurt Cobain is my favorite songwriter of all time. He's just my favorite musician of all time in general. The things that this guy came up with was amazing. And I couldn't even imagine what else he could have made, honestly, in my opinion. Like, what else could this guy have done if he was still alive, to be honest? Like, it's insane. And their music is something I cherish with all of my heart and will forever cherish in my eyes. So, yeah, my favorite band of all time is Nirvana. So, yeah, that's my top 20 favorite bands of all time. Man, top 20 favorite bands. My God almighty. Oh, okay, that was that took a lot. That saying 2 top 20 lists in one fucking sitting takes a lot out of you. So, holy crap. But
That's
yeah.
all your music topics?
Yep. But hope you guys enjoyed that list.
Yeah, that was a really good list.
Thank you. Holy God.
You have any music topics, Andrew?
Yeah, I got 4. Also list, not my list, Watch Mojo's list. I like doing these Watch Mojo lists. That's why I do a lot of them.
Okay,
Because I want to see how people do, and I figured I'm never going to have the opportunity to do this again, so why not do it?
Yes.
All right, so the first one I'm going to do is top 10 Weird Al parodies.
All right.
So,
Hear it.
all right, coming in at number 10 is Perform This Way, which is a parody of Lady Gaga's Born This Way. A really, really, really funny song. Number 9 is It's All About the Pentiums, which is a parody of Puff Daddy's It's All About the Benjamins.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
All right. Number 8, Another One Rides a Bus, which is a parody of Queen's Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah.
Another really, really funny one. Number 7, which I would like to be higher, The Saga Begins, which is a parody of Don McLean's American Pie.
Okay.
6, Like a Surgeon, which is a parody of Madonna's
Yes!
Like a Virgin. Number 5, which would actually be my number 1, Amish Paradise, which is a parody of Cool.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's personally my favorite. 4, White and Nerdy, which is a parody of Chameleon.
That's my second favorite one.
That one's really funny as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the guy that like dances in the background? Like, he fucking cracks me up every time I see him.
I don't know. 3, Fat, which is a parody.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my
Yeah.
God. The video's so funny.
2, Smells Like Nirvana, which is a parody of Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit.
That's my favorite for a lot of reason.
And number 1 is Eat It, which is
Yeah,
a parody of Michael
I
Jackson's Beat It. Honestly, all of these are really, 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 really funny.
Yes.
The part that always gets me and Eat It is when the guy, he plays guitar, he has a guitar solo, and he plays it so bad he fucking explodes.
I love it in Fat, where I always thought that loved it in Fat when he said I have my own zip code.
Oh, yeah. And in the beginning, where he's like, "You want this pizza's good for you, yo? This pizza's like this big."
But honestly,
I love how in the since we're talking, I love how in the Smells Like Nirvana one when he does the when he does the damn boing, like it's like a rubber guitar and shit.
Yeah.
Man, all these are really funny. I mean, my first favorite is Amish Paradise.
No, that's a really good one too.
That's a funny one. That's probably like that
funny.
Smells Like Nirvana and fucking Wide and Nerdy are like my 3 favorites.
The Saga Begins is a really fucking funny one too.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars one. Like, and the story behind that's great. Like, George Lucas was having no private screenings for that movie, but Weird Al Yankovic really wanted to make a fucking parody song of that movie, a parody song about that. So George Lucas did give him a private screening of it, and that's how it was born.
Yeah. We're at my next list. Top 10 Pink Floyd songs.
Ah.
So one of my favorite bands. I know it's one of Diego's favorite bands.
I know that's probably Caden's favorite band.
Great band. All right, number 10. Hey You.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Number 9. Money.
Great one. Baseline is phenomenal.
Yeah. Number 8. Dogs.
That's another good
That's
one.
a really good one. And I know it's 20 minutes long, but I don't care. It's
Exactly.
Number 7. Echoes.
Okay.
Great song. 6. Brain Damage / Eclipse.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's best to combine the two because they are one song.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I don't mind that, but you know, we'll get to something a little bit later. Number 5. Time.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a really good one too.
4. Shining You. Crazy Diamond.
Great one.
Now, number 3 is Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. I feel like they probably should have combined it with the Happiest Days of Our Lives. But nonetheless, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, the greatest song ever made, is on this list.
Nice.
Number 2, Comfortably Numb. And we do have some honorable mentions for this one. Keep Talking, The Trial, Run Like Hell, and Mother. Something that I actually thought was going to be on this list.
Mother is probably my second favorite Pink Floyd song. I think their number one. I think I know what their number one is because.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is Wish You Were Here.
That's my favorite as well.
Which is a great song.
Yes.
Yo, yeah, it's a great song.
A little bummed out. My number 1's not on the list, but it's fine. All those songs are great.
My third Watch Mojo list is top 10 Queen songs.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So number 10 is I Want to Break Free.
Okay. Great one.
Number 9, Innuendo.
Good one.
8, Too Much Love Will Kill You.
Good one.
Number 7, Killer Queen.
Great one. That was actually my number 7 on the podcast.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Mine too. Yeah.
6, Another One Bites the Dust.
Great one.
5, Somebody to Love.
Great one.
4, Radio Gaga.
Great one.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. 3, The Show Must Go On.
Great one.
2, We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions.
Great.
Yeah,
Great
that's
one.
how it should be. They should combine the two.
Yeah.
Great
I
ones.
mean, my dad always tells me that, like, for the longest time, he just thought that those it was the same song. That's how well it works together.
Yeah.
Number 1, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, they didn't have. Okay, where was "Don't Stop Me Now"?
Yeah,
Like,
that should have been on the list.
that's my favorite. Like,
I
what
mean,
the fuck?
I kind of, I'm sad that Fat Bottom Girls isn't on this list.
That's a great one.
You know.
But
But,
Bohemian Rhapsody, you can't really argue is the number one.
I
though.
think that's the general consensus.
Yes.
All right. Now, my 4th Watch Mojo list, the last Watch Mojo list I'll ever do on this podcast, the last music topic I'll ever do on this podcast. I had to do it on a band, just that I had to do it on AC/DC. Top 10 AC/DC songs.
All right, let's do this, bitches.
Number 10, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
That's a great one.
Great fucking song. Number 9, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
That's a great one.
Number 8, Whole Lotta Rosie.
That's a great one.
Number 7, something that I thought would actually be a little bit higher. You Shook Me All Night Long.
Oh, that's my second favorite song by them.
Number 6, For Those About the Rock, We Salute You.
Great one.
5, TNT.
Great one.
4, something that, again, I thought would be higher. Just a little bit. Hell's Bells.
Great one.
3, Highway to Hell.
That's my favorite song by them.
2, which I know Diego is probably very happy about this. I know it's my favorite. Back in Black.
Yes.
The greatest comeback song of all time.
Great one.
Now, honorable mentions are Who Made Who? It's a Long Way to the Top, if you want to rock and roll. Shoot the Thrill. If You Want Blood, You Got It, Jailbreak, and Let There Be Rock.
All great ones.
I'm surprised they did not mention Giving a Dog a Bone. I thought they would mention that. Number 1 is Thunderstruck, the greatest fucking game of all time.
I do think, honestly, Back in Black is better than Thunderstruck.
No, Back in Black is my number 1. I mean, the top 5. I mean, the whole list, in my opinion, is a great list, and even the honorable mentions. And I can go on and on about fucking AC/DC. But no, but I honestly, Back in Black's my personal number 1, and Hellbells is my personal number 2.
I think my number 1 is Highway Tale, and my number 2 is You Shook Me All Night.
And then probably my number 3 is Thunderstruck. But yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with this list. They're all great songs. I know Diego loves this band.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Greatest band of all fucking time. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't think they are. I said, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. So there you go.
Hey.
All right,
let's agree to disagree.
Fine. That concludes the MTVM podcast.
Oh Jesus!
This is
we definitely went all out with this. Holy fuck!
Yes.
Hey, I was told to bring my A game for this one, which I mean I always bring my A game for, but I was told to bring my A game, and I brought it.
This is the longest episode we've done, but I felt like we did a really good episode.
Yes.
So, you know what? I'm happy that we ended it off the way we did. I think we had a pretty good run. I guess some episodes were obviously better than others, but you know what? I think overall, the podcast went really well. I want to give a big special thank you to everyone who has supported this podcast from day one. I know there have been people who have been watching this since episode 1 back in November, which is awesome. And I've had fun doing this for sure. So, I'm not really sad this is over. I'm glad I got the chance to do it. And, this does not mean my YouTube channel will stop being active. Like I mentioned before, previous podcasts ago, that I will be doing my own stuff on YouTube. So every other video from now on you'll see will just contain me. So, I'll be doing my own things. And speaking of that, this Sunday at 8 p.m. Live on Eastern Time, I'll be doing a live stream of my top 5 most anticipated movies of the fall movie season. I did my top 5 least earlier in this episode, so I'll be talking about movies I'm really excited for because that's the one I want to talk about. So, easily, I want to say thank you to everybody who has watched the show from day one. Like I said, without you guys, honestly, I don't know if I would have continued it because I know the show has had a lot of fans and a lot of supporters, and I hope to continue having these supporters even though the show is over. And of course, these two have their own YouTube channel, so you could always go back to them, go back to their channels and watch their stuff. And thank you guys for. It's funny. I had this idea of let's do a podcast, and we just did it. So if there's any message you want to take away from here, you want something, just go for it. Just don't think twice about it. And if the execution doesn't go well, that's fine, because at the end of the day, you're going for it, and you're not wondering what if I did this or what if I did that. You have this thought. Don't let any fears go ahead. Just just do it. And luckily for me, I don't think this was a bad idea at all. It actually came out to be
it turned out to be a fucking phenomenal idea.
Yeah, but very easily I could have been like, oh man, maybe that would have been stupid, maybe I shouldn't say anything. But no, literally, I'm like, why not? Like, if we're all very passionate about the entertainment industry, why can't we all just band together and just talk about what we love? And that's what I liked about this. It felt like just conversations of what we like and share our passions. And we all have a lot of things in common, but it was also interesting to see when opinions were different, because it made for an interesting conversation. It never was like once where we attacked each other or got on each other's
I mean, we busted each other's balls, but
obviously I'm joking because
yeah, right. I'm saying, like, in terms of busting balls, yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, legitimately, I don't care that Diego doesn't like AC/DC. Like, that's his opinion. He feels that way. I'm sorry that you don't like AC/DC, but that's not. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of AC/DC.
Right. Yeah, and vice versa for any other thing. So Yes, once again, thank you very much. Words can't really describe how thankful I am or how grateful I am. I don't think they're ever going to show, but I am very grateful. And yeah, I'm happy I got to do this. I think we had a hell of a run. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my own content. And I'm never deleting these episodes. So anyone wants to like sit back and maybe watch a segment or something
and binge the entire thing. Fuck it.
Yeah. So yeah. You guys have anything you want to say before I end?
I got a lot to say.
All right, go ahead.
But so one day, I'm just sitting in my room, listening to music, doing the usual. I get a message from this fucker. He asked me, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast. I'd like for you to join." I was like, "Hell to the yes, my friend." And look where we are now. I had a blast. This is one of the best things I've ever have done. Honestly, this is one of the greatest things I think I've ever done. Honestly, I love doing this. I appreciate all of you watching tonight. Thank you to Caden, Tony, Kevin, MC Deadpool. Thanks for the kind words, and thank you for saying great things about the show, and everyone else that watched tonight, and just everyone else who's watched this show from the beginning. Thank you, honestly, because obviously if you guys didn't watch, we wouldn't be doing this, obviously. So thank you all for watching and enjoying this little podcast that we just decided to do randomly. And I'd say we had a great run. We really did. We had a blast with each other. It was fantastic. I honestly had one of the best times of my life doing this podcast. It was great, honestly, and I loved it. I grew closer to Diego and Andrew because of this. They're some of my best friends in life, honestly. I really appreciate these two a lot. Hopefully, we can definitely meet up in person one day. That would be quite glorious, honestly. That would be great. And, yeah. Just thank you all for watching. I love each and every one of you. And I will always cherish this podcast to my heart and always be one of my favorite things I've done in my life. So thank you for that. And yeah, just what a ride, man.
Yeah, well said. You have anything you want to say, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit more in kind of in depth. Because I plan on doing kind of an update on my channel, because there's just a lot that I gotta say, but I don't want to hold it up, so I might as well do it on my channel. But what I will say that I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and even before this, we were doing there was the top 5 podcast that we started. I want to say in June-ish, maybe.
It was actually, I'll tell you one specifically. It was in April. Because it was late April, because we did a top 5 most anticipated of the summer of that year.
The summer, yeah, that's right. Fuck, yeah. I don't know where I got June from. But still, I've been a pretty regular face on this channel and just podcasting constantly for the most part for over a year now. So, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, not saying this is the end of my podcasting career, but no, it's going to be, I'm very grateful for doing it, because I started my channel again because of this. It's something that I've enjoyed doing my own videos, and it's really, really nice knowing that people care about my opinion and that my voice kind of means something. And it's really given me I feel like a lot of opportunities, and I'm going to take a lot away from this as a content creator. And while not that it sucks that it's ending, we had a great run, but I'm just very, very happy that we had 37 great episodes.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Both of you. And, I'm glad I chose you two to be on the podcast,
Yeah. And this is going to be the last time we collaborate together, I'm sure. I mean,
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get together.
Yeah, no, I was actually discussing with Double Nine before that. By maybe early next year, we can do a podcasting on the top 10 best songs of this year.
Yes,
I'd be down for that.
Oh, yeah.
And I do my every month. I do 2 videos with Double Nine. So
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me. So, yeah, I know this episode's been over 3 hours, our longest episode to date, but it was our last episode. So, yeah. And again, thank you guys again. This is the last time I'll ever say see you next week for this podcast. So, just have a good one. Thank you again so much. I love you all. You guys are the best. And I will see you on Sunday. Just me. Top 5 most anticipated movies of the fall movie season. I'm going to work very hard on that video. I'm going to try to make it my best video to date. So you guys can give me some views. Some people watching mean a lot to me. So if you guys can make it, please make it. All right. Until next time, guys. See you later. Have a good one. Love you all. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.